So, are we starting the show, sir?
Yeah, okay. This is Past the Rock.
You got a good ball club. You don't know how the road's going to lead you to the end where you can go out and celebrate. 1 out away from doing part one. Swing and a miss, Leclerc.
And the Rangers are back in the postseason for the first time since 2016. They come streaming out of the dugout and start mobbing each other on the mound. And the Rangers have clinched the playoff spot.
Astros are down to their last out.
And the Rangers are an out away from their third American League pennant.
102 losses in 2021. Grounded a second. 2 years removed from losing 100. The Rangers have won the pennant.
For the first time since 2011, the Rangers are going to the World Series after having 6 consecutive losing seasons.
They're the champions of the American League, toppling the Houston Astros.
What an amazing year this has been.
Could tie it with one swing. High drive! It's tied! Corey Seager has tied the game in the ninth. And now the Rangers can look to win it. Evan Carter takes strike one. Franchise-changing player.
First kicks and fires.
He struck him out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series. Ranger fans, you're not dreaming. The Rangers are the World Series champions. After 52 years in Texas, 63 years of the franchise. The wait is over. And the celebration has begun.
I just got one thing to say, everybody was wondering what would happen if the Rangers didn't win the World Series. I guess we'll never know.
It's smell what the Rock is cooking.
First place Texas Rangers.
Recording live from 3 locations. This is Past the Rock. I'm Patrick, and as always, I'm joined by 2 great men, Jacob, aka Bethke.
I'm Pappy Bullwinkle.
And returning this week from God knows where, Caesar.
Don't you worry.
AKA
Don't you fucking worry where I've been. All right? Listen, I'm on the run from RFK. You're lucky you can get me sit down for 2 hours or whatever the fuck this is going to last, okay?
So we won't disclose Caesar's location. This week we will be getting into our mega giant defending champion
First place Texas Rangers
2024 preview. But before we do that, we'll do a couple things quick here. So it's important for us to talk about. God damn it! Oh. Hello, copyright flag. Thanks for listening. Lot to talk about this week. In a nutshell, gambling's everywhere, so we're going to kind of start with that. We discussed the Ohtani stuff a little bit last week, I think, or that happened after we recorded. I don't even remember.
At this point, I don't remember, but the best player in baseball is allegedly involved in a massive scandal and allegedly might be the greatest sports gambler since Michael Jordan.
We're the worst.
Well,
it's all perspective on that one.
We know who the worst is. We already know the worst. That's the whole start of the show is the worst.
Well, I don't know. He was making successful bets. So we'll get to that. NBA fringe player.
Hold on. I just want to say one thing. That man took betting on himself to a whole different level.
And this is the kind of thing that this is the kind of story people should be worried about with the gambling in pro sports, because the Ohtani thing's one bit, but you really don't expect the big players to get in on this because they make enough money that, you know, it's whatever. You might talk about the refs.
Lose more money.
You might talk about, yeah, exactly. But what we got here this week, a couple days ago, the story broke that Toronto Raptors. Where is he in the rotation? 10th man.
You know, honestly,
he's on a two-way.
That's a big part of this story. Actually, he's, I would say, semi-rotation for a bad team.
Yeah. So Jonte Porter, younger brother of Michael Porter Jr., I believe.
Correct.
He is currently under investigation and temporarily suspended from the team, I guess. I don't know if that's like an official title that they gave him, but they're not letting him play because DraftKings came to the NBA and said, hey, on two separate occasions, the most money put down and the most money won was on this spare ass named Jonte Porter hitting a bunch of unders in games that he pulled himself for injury/sickness. Talking about unders, betting unders on 0.5 3 points attempted, under 5 rebounds, those kind of things. So it looks like there were $20,000. People tried to place $20,000 bets, which DraftKings won't even take. It was probably the first flag they got. So yeah, it looks like either he told a bunch of people to place these bets or he's placing them. I don't know if we've gotten the full skinny on that while they're investigating, but this is the danger. Is a guy who might, you know, I think his contract's on like $400,000 this year. So for him, maybe making those bets is worth it to win. And Beth, you might have a little bit more detail on this.
Yeah, so I guess the interesting part is how many guys would feel the need to do this in the first place. Now, this guy seems like he's really just the world's dumbest criminal in a lot of ways. It was very obvious how he's handling his business. He was on the Discord, sitting there selling $50 subscriptions to the Discord.
And his Discord is like a financial planning.
But yeah, he's a finance bro. He's over here telling you to chase apes and imaginary coins and whatnot. So, you know,
I bet he can explain it better than Dez can.
Well, you know what? If you know, I'm not telling anybody what to do with their time or money.
I know I shouldn't be taking shots at Dez right now for no reason, but his explanation of crypto is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. It's very blockchain calm.
Yeah, and you know, again, I'm not telling anybody what to do or not do with their money. In fact, in the hoopla, I told people that you got to gamble smart. You got to know what's happening, right? Like, this is just the way of the world now. Welcome to the new West, the Wild Wild West, not the AL West.
Wiki wow.
But it is interesting because, like you mentioned, his salary's kind of low. One of the things I had talked about,
relatively speaking.
Well, for the NBA standards, and this is the issue, is these guys are all, you know, if you're hanging out with multimillionaires all the time, you're going to feel like $400,000 isn't enough money to compete, right? That's just kind of how this fucking weird society works now. So either way, these dudes are in obviously high wealth classes. There's a reason why they want to be competing with each other. There's a reason why it's never enough, especially if you're on a fringe NBA contract like Jonte. It was also set up perfectly for him to essentially like potentially wiggle his way out of getting in full trouble for this, just because, you know, he got the opportunity to play this season for the Raptors, mostly because they didn't have depth at the 5.
Well, yeah, I believe he was originally on a 10-day, right? And they bumped him up to the 2-way.
Correct.
That right there is like a salary increase of like $200,000 just getting that contract.
Right. And one of the better things about the new CBA is that the 10-day contracts were worth a lot more. So guys like
that's based on your years in the league, I believe.
Yeah, I actually don't know what the 10 days.
I just looked at it. It is.
Okay.
If you're 0 years in the league, it starts at like 69,000, and then it goes incrementally up from there.
So that's good because essentially, guys like Taj Gibson, who's kind of on the end of his days, and he was just helping teams out through the finish of this season, he was getting 10-day contracts, and he was probably getting close to $1 million on his, right? And so there's a little incentive there to keep these guys into the United States as much as they can, because over the course of a year, whether it be hopping from 10-day to 10-day, and then having a full-time contract, a 10-day two-way contract, whatever it is, they can make about $1 million a season or so, which will help keep them here instead of going overseas, right? So that's where the thought was that this is good for competition, but still, obviously, and this is something I've worried about with the new CBA, is the top end of the NBA rosters are so well paid that the bottom end is starting to get shrunk down to a little nubby nub.
It's like this in a lot of sports. This is a big talking point in baseball. As far as every time they do like a CBA, and the MLBPA is represented by, the top dogs who are, if you're a top dog in Major League Baseball, you're making a crap ton of money. But if you're a fringe major leaguer, no.
You're grinding.
You're lucky to make above minimum wage in the minors, basically.
Well, now it's a little bit better, but yes.
I don't know if the pay's that much better, as much as they just like they take care of some. They take care of a few more amenities, which makes the salary a little bit stronger.
Yeah, right. So that's all kind of a part of it. We'll see whether he gets full trouble or not, because essentially when he gets started playing in this season, we find out that he can stretch the floor pretty well. Toronto has a decent run. This is before OG Anunoby and Pascal are traded, so they're having a little bit of a moment. Then all the trades happen.
We've never seen Jonte Porter try, because he's trying to not try.
Well, yeah, I mean, we just don't know enough about this guy in general. Like, all we knew is that he at one point may have been a lottery pick, maybe just a first round pick, but like the rest of his family, they all suffer through the same damn injuries. They all basically have like the worst fucking back/knees ever. They've all had tears and shit. So it's just one of those unfortunate things. And then I think a lot of NBA fans that have been following sort of the Porters for a while now, since at least Michael's been one of the
he was undrafted
bigger names. No, I know he was undrafted.
Oh, okay.
But the years
coming
prior,
up, okay.
Yeah, coming up the years prior, he was certainly a first round pick at some points. And now you can see that, we get to see him play. He's healthy. He's shooting the ball well. He's a good sized player. He's kind of like not necessarily a starter guy or someone you get too excited about, but it's like, hey, maybe this guy can hang around the NBA for a couple of years. And then all of a sudden, well, fuck, now that might be all out the window. And then, of course, if he is found to be, guilty or proven or whatever they can get on the evidence side, if it's found to really put him in the worst light, the NBA is probably going to do some pretty hasty shit, because they don't lose anything.
Yeah, and if you're going to make an example of anyone, that's the guy to do it.
He's the perfect candidate, unfortunately for him.
Otherwise, they send you to play minor league baseball in Chicago or something.
Yes, well, there's other ways too. There's been some, that's the popular one. That's the David Stern class.
I did hear the joke about we're going to see Ohtani playing in the G League next year.
Honestly, though, that would be great. His girlfriend could teach him how to hoop a little bit, or his wife.
She could shoot.
So, either way,
and we'll touch a little bit on Ohtani here, because I can't remember the timeline, but obviously some more stuff's happened since we were last on it. But
my man's innocent.
Basically, there were a story broke that the Dodgers were firing Ippei Mazahara, who was Ohtani's interpreter and seemingly his best friend by all accounts that we know of. And everyone thought that was weird. And then we've later found out that the night before, Ippei had done a 90-minute interview on the phone with someone for ESPN. But that interview has not come out. We don't actually know everything. We've heard what people told us is in there, but no one has access to it except for, I guess, whoever was on the call. I don't really know how all that works. So he had, in that call, he had said he accrued these $4.5 million gambling debts to a illegal book in California. And he said that Ohtani wired money for him to pay off the debts. Illegal, but you can understand why someone would just help their friend. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the story, it's understandable. And Ohtani wouldn't be in trouble with the Major League Baseball. Might be in trouble with the federal government, but I bet they'd be okay. They'd work it out. something happened in between. The Dodgers lawyers stepped in and were like, no. This guy stole money from Ohtani. And then Ohtani was silent for a few days. Then he came out and gave like a little press conference with no questions where he said he had no idea the money was stolen from him. And that's kind of where we're at now. Their MLB, they didn't even launch their own investigation into it for a couple days. So who knows? Because, this the worst thing that could happen for baseball right now is potentially the greatest player of all time has to leave and never come back.
Yeah, that's your biggest start.
I'm guessing unless there's a real smoking gun somewhere about him legitimately betting on baseball, he's going to be all right.
Got to have a fall guy.
As Chris Carter said, you got to have a fall guy.
Got to have a fall guy.
That's right.
So that's kind of the main gambling stuff on the week, I think.
Oh no, not at all.
What did I miss?
No, we gotta. We there's one last big piece of news here that might tie into some gambling. And
I can't even think about it.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. I can do all the thinking for you. All right. Now, people, all wonderful listeners, you've probably been wondering, where was I last week? Don't worry about it. But if you ever seen A Clockwork Orange, just know something similar happened to me, but I escaped. And I'm here now.
We'll skip the first 10 minutes.
All right. I got my hat on. Some might call it a conspiracy hat. I just call it appropriate for the theme of this week's episode. Regardless, we need to talk about some rule changes in the NFL and how some of this might tie to gambling. Now, first, we're going to get one that doesn't really have to do with gambling out of the way, and that is the new kickoff rule.
Although we might get some interesting new types of prop bets.
Yes, absolutely. But this is not going to be connected to a deeper, darker criminal link like this next rule change. Now, this one right here is the new kickoff rule. If you haven't seen it, everybody, they've adopted the XFL's kickoff rule where the only two people who are allowed to move is the kicker and the return man up to a certain point, at which point, once the return man makes it past a certain point on the field, both the return teams, the returners blockers, and then the opposing side can start making moves happening to try to halt progress or try to score. Either way, it's a great rule. It effectively saves the kickoff.
Picture in picture, baby.
There we go. Here's a nice visual. And look at this. There is potential for a big play.
I'll run it back.
You can run it back, but
kicker
the
kicks,
potential for
no one's moving. No one's moving. Catch
returner
the ball,
gets the ball. Boom. There you go. And this is all in the name of player safety, or so they say. But really, it's also going to be now that I'm thinking about it, now that my hat and my brain's going, this could all add up to the conspiracy of the NFL getting pressured on by these gambling companies that are now their sponsors. Because what's happened next, fellas? That's right. Tackling has now gotten harder on defenses. That's true.
It's debatable.
Not debatable. Not in this case. Listen here, sir. You tell me how a 190-pound cornerback is supposed to tackle a tight end without dropping his weight on him. You don't. Now, what are we talking about? The hip drop tackle has now been banned. Now,
with a swivel. With a swivel.
Listen, a swivel. I can't trust these NFL referees to call this shit because these are part-time employees who are now, and this is all in good fun and jokes, right? Jokes. All right? These gentlemen have nothing to do with the gambling entity that is now sponsoring them in every turn. Your NFL presented by DraftKings, MGM Sportsbook, Caesars Sportsbook, you name them. The NFL is sponsored by them. Or either way. But here's why this is all tying in to gambling. Because if you were a bettor and you kept betting the under on overall scores in the NFL games, you were making bank, buddy, because this was one of the worst scoring seasons in NFL history. So what do? They make it harder for defenses to tackle, and they make it easier for special teams to score. Buddy, it's a deeper, darker criminal link, whether you want to think about it or not, whether you accept it or not. It's the truth. Sorry, I thought I heard RFK.
Somebody's been spending some time with Rodgers.
The second rule that the NFL has changed that could have won a Dallas Cowboy championship.
Now let me take my conspiracy hat off and give you my overall thoughts on the thing. Truly, really, the NFL, I don't trust these referees to call this shit correctly. Nobody can trust these referees to call them correctly because most of these guys are part-time employees who only really show up 2 days before the game itself. All right? You only have like a handful of full-time referees.
They got a week of ref camp before the season starts.
So this is what's going to happen. This hip drop with a swivel, some guy is not going to properly interpret it because the NFL doesn't know how to properly interpret their own fucking language. And what's going to happen is some asshat is going to do a standard tackle. It's going to look wrong in the eyes of one referee who may or may not have something on the line. All right. And then the Chiefs win that game. All right. Someone hip drops Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, hell, even Patrick Mahomes. The refs throw the flag. It's a penalty, keeps their drive alive. And what happens? We get a dynasty, and a bunch of bettors in Vegas are very happy. That's part of my conspiracy hat coming back on midway through that. But that's all I got in terms of my conspiracy in gambling.
I do want to go back and touch on the kickoff thing, though.
That's badass.
Just talk about it's nice because we'll actually get to see what kickers actually have skill.
Ooh.
It's not just drill it as far as you can. I think in the Super Bowl there were 13 kickoffs and 0 return yards, this is why they're doing it. The player safety thing was to get rid of like the old style of kickoffs, but now it's like, oh shit, we overcorrected and now we got rid of that play entirely, so we got to do something. And it's also encouraging that the NFL is taking something from the now UFL. As much as they don't want to admit that
they do it all the time.
Tryout league, it is a tryout league.
Yeah, I mean, for example, a lot of their camera angles that are used in the NFL now have been taken from the XFL.
Stolen, even.
Absolutely. The NFL is not some progressive visionary league. They're reactive as shit. All right, they will take things from lesser leagues.
It's not progressive.
And not in that way, but yes, also not progressive. But no, it's a reactionary league, and they're not ashamed to admit it. They won't actually acknowledge it, but like if you talk to executives behind closed doors, they're like, yeah, shit, these leagues are doing it. This is great. That's a great idea. We're going to take this and we're just going to apply it. We're not really going to acknowledge the league that we took it from. And except for this one, I think wording is that it was the adoption of an XFL rule. So kudos to them on that one.
Yeah, and I do like this because kickoffs. I mean, we call it the NFL kickoff, like when the season's starting. So you had to do something to make that play relevant again.
It was a ceremonial kickoff. It was look at our kicker, boom the ball.
And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if more guys are getting hurt just sprinting 100 yards and running out of the back of the end zone like idiots for no reason. Then.
Do you think some of those guys were just racing each other?
Well, if you're on some of those guys, that's the only time they get on the field. So it's like, I just got to get this energy out.
Yeah, and you know what? What's more exciting than a kickoff return for touchdown?
Building up.
Yeah, all that C4 and rhino pills.
Punt return for touchdowns, kick return for touchdowns, those are the two of the most exciting plays in football. So the fact that the kickoff now has a chance to get some life again.
I would say the only downside is they need to figure out a new form of onside kick potential, because now you have to declare you're doing an onside kick, then you line it up the old way, so there's no surprise onside kicks.
I mean, very few. Well, I guess yes, there were
Saints won a Super Bowl with a surprise onside kick, so I think New Orleans is.
although most teams haven't really done surprise onside kicks.
Fastest touchdown in NFL history. Dallas Cowboys, 3 seconds. Andy Reid tries the onside kick. Cowboys take it back, and it was shitty Cowboys. I think that was fucking.
And that record will stay forever because of the new rule, the way it's all set up.
It was Chan Gailey? No, not Chan Gailey. When did Andy Reid get the job?
13?
When? In 1998.
98. Ooh, it could have been Chan Gailey.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Andy Reid. Sorry.
It could have been Dave Campo.
Yeah, it was either Campo or Chan.
Well, hold on. David Akers was the kicker on that, so I can tell you roughly the time period.
Early odds then, right?
Yeah, it was
I
in
don't
the
think he
odds.
kicked in the 90s.
That
did
would
he?
have been Van Gailey or
I'll tell you. I'll give
And
you.
Parcells.
no. it
I'll,
was-
I'll learn you real quick about when this could have happened, sir.
Parcells is probably a
Parcells
year
is
after.
02,
Probably a
03.
year before Parcells. No, it looked like the bad cow. It looked like the
The
Campo
5'11", when Jerry finally
right,
broke
so
down. Hired a real
David
coach.
David Akers joined the Cowboys, the Eagles in 2000. So from about 2000 to 2010, that footage looks like it was probably in the early aughts.
Yeah,
So-
it looked like it was 01, 02.
Yeah, so that's either going to be Campo or Parcells. Anyways,
Ew.
I'm glad about the kickoff rule. I'm excited for it. I don't think the swivel tackle thing is going to be a big deal. I think it's like when the horse collar came in and everyone was like, "This is going to ruin the game," and then
Oh, no.
we all got over it and moved on.
When the catch rule
I'm
came
gonna
in,
disagree with you on
rational
that.
rule that should have always existed to form righteous champions.
But anyways, we got a full off season to debate NFL stuff.
I will say this doesn't affect the Eagles because they don't fucking tackle for shit. So
And I was also going to
That's
say,
it.
like, none of these rules make the mediocre quarterbacks any better at getting the ball to their guys. So Justin Fields is still going to be missing throws. Kyler Murray's still going to be missing throws. It's all good.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Maybe if one of them gets that Neuralink, they can figure it out.
Oh, dude, what happens if like someone just has like the craziest MVP year? And Aaron Rodgers, next year he'll be MVP.
And then we find
We'll
out
win the
that
Super
Elon
Bowl.
Musk's just been playing with him with an Xbox controller all year.
And then but at the end he's gonna have like a super massive hemorrhage from all the use.
Jesus. 2003, by the way, was when the Cowboys established that record. Yeah. So that was
that's
2003. That's 2003's Bill Parcells' first season,
Mhm.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
There
you go.
The first season.
No, because
Time flies when you're
I'm
having
pretty
fun.
sure. I'm like mostly sure.
I'm pretty sure 2002 was his first season.
Having fun.
Because Romo was 03, right? When he came in.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Three.
Not bad.
Damn, is time really a flat circle like that?
Bill Parcells. Hired by the Cowboys in
2002.
03, yeah.
03. All right, there you go. Called it. Ball game.
Yep, that's
Speaking of ball game, Patrick, why don't you take us to the old ball game? And let's get started with
Take
some
me out
Texas,
to the ball game.
Texas Rangers baseball, baby.
Give me some crack.
Well, we'll wait. We'll wait a second. We'll wait a couple more
wait.
seconds.
What are you waiting on, little old me? I just felt like I wasn't dressed for the party. You know what I mean? It's time to talk about champions today.
Where did that hat come from?
Don't worry about the question.
Don't worry
The
about
answer
where
to
I
it.
got
I
hats.
just mean the actual hat. Like, what is that hat?
It's a Texas Rangers ball cap.
It's a Texas Rangers ball cap. You can find these for $20.
That looks like a-
Tarjay.
I was gonna say that looks like an
Tarjay,
Academy
baby.
special.
This is a Tarjay hat right here. All the rest of them made me look just a little too hillbilly, so I chose the Country Club white.
Oh, you know what? Before we actually do get into the Rangers, I will bring up our Dallas Stars real quick because
Ooh,
Even
almost
though-
Are
got
they winning?
even though I come in here and I act like the sky might be falling down, the Stars are technically only 1 point out of first place in the whole NHL right now.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
They could clinch a playoff spot tomorrow. This team's just phenomenal, and the playoffs can't come soon enough. But we'll get more into that whenever they're closer, because today we got to discuss
What is coming, and it's coming
what's
soon.
coming tomorrow, or today, or yesterday, depending on when you listen to this. Your
First place Texas Rangers.
season opening day. First
Season tip-off.
First,
Let's go
Giant.
Rangers.
yeah. So opening day. We'll
Oh,
wait
yeah.
for Bethke to figure this part out.
Oh, he's popping the bottle, baby. Oh, he didn't really.
It's a twist off.
Oh, it's a twist. Oh, that's a small bottle of champagne.
If there wasn't just like 15 fucking very expensive electronic equipment all over the place and very valuable books behind me, I would spray this all over the place.
That's
yeah,
right.
So game one is tomorrow. Because we are your defending World Series champions, our opening day is actually opening night, a 6:45 start, which is, I don't even know if the Rangers have ever started like after 3 p.m. on opening day. So that's interesting and that's cool.
That's what happens when you win the World Series, baby. That's
Hell
what
yeah.
happens when you're a champion.
That's
Yeah.
mandatory.
So a lot we can get into. Rangers looking to be the first team to repeat since the '99 Yankees. Bruce
We're the team
Bochy
of
looking to repeat after his 3 championships in San Francisco were all alternating years. So now we got to see if he can
He's a
crack
fraud.
that.
He has to answer the. You know what I mean? It's about narratives now, boys.
Listen, we have the lineup to drag this piss poor old age pitching staff, and I say piss poor because our best pitchers are starting the season on IL. So Nate Eovaldi save us.
Yeah, I mean it's really not a bad rotation. It is
It's
just
not a great rotation.
It's fine. It's really not bad at all.
You say that. I miss Jordan Montgomery already.
Yeah. We'll get to all that. But yeah, we'll start with the lineup. 1 to 9 could be the scariest lineup in the league right now. I think Nate Lowe's not going to start opening day. He might be out for a little bit. So outside of first base.
I was going to ask you, what is that? Jared Walsh? Tell me about the former All-Star.
I don't know a whole lot about him.
He played for the Angels. Look at where the fuck did that sticker come from? What the fuck? Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, so
we're fixing.
we get our first full
got
season. We get our first full season to Evan Carter. We got rookie Wyatt Langford, who's been confirmed to be on the opening day roster after a half a year in the minors, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and he will be wearing the 36 that he wore at Florida when he won the national title last spring. And that dude's something, man. His exit velocities are ridiculous. He crushes the ball. He's going to be so fun to watch, especially in the middle of this lineup with Seager, Simeon, Garcia.
Absolute piss missiles is what that boy be knocking out the park.
We got a lot going on for that. As far as there's no one to pitch around. It's pretty insane. There hasn't been a lineup here. Like even the 10-11 Rangers were mostly good, but 7, 8, 9 weren't really that anything to be afraid of.
You could argue those 2010, 2011 Rangers was really just 1 through 5, occasionally 1 through 6 were really good. Like you just said, 7, 8, 9 definitely nothing to be scared of. This one is
they were fine. I mean, they could get hits. They weren't, obviously they were good enough to get to the World Series 2 years in a row. But this is a different beast that we have built right now.
That's right. Everybody capable of just hitting absolute piss missiles.
This is a dynasty, the field. And there's the reason why we're already being mentioned with the 90s Yankees.
That's right.
We're mentioning that.
Hey, we count. We are people. We society. We live in one.
But yeah, so a couple of things for opening day. I'm not really excited about the Rangers' choice for first pitch, which is just some random old guy who's been a fan for a while. It's a real letdown, but honestly not surprising after the terrible parade they put on. They can make a great baseball team, but they do not understand. They do not understand the marketing aspect of any of this.
Oh, not at all, buddy. All right,
be fucking careful what you ask for.
Yeah, there is an in between somewhere.
Listen, now I'll tell you this: what we should have done is we should have gotten Scott Stapp off a tour for a second. He's like, "Hey, buddy, we couldn't have done this without you." Throw in that first ceremony.
Pretty sure we lost the games he came to. So I would have liked to see Beltre do it. Maybe Elvis Andrews, who just got cut from the Diamondbacks roster. Someone like that.
Actually a good one.
Or we could have done what the Red Sox did when they snapped their streak and they brought out Bobby Orr and I think Bill Russell to come out their first pitch the next season. We could have gotten Madonna and Nowitzki.
Why not
Rafael Palmeiro, baby?
They did. But why not they? Why so the Celtics or the Red Sox didn't get what's his name, Buckner? They didn't have him come do it.
No, they did talk about this morning. It would be kind of funny to get Nelson Cruz to come do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
No,
you know
fuck that
he'd get
bullshit.
cheered now, but yeah.
we got one of them things. About to have two of them things, maybe three of them.
But honestly, I mean, yeah, even that would be
Or
better
Nelson
than
Cruz.
picking some octogenarian. But that's that's what our team's about. Especially considering this year we've got this new energy transfer patch on our jerseys.
So they couldn't use the money from that new sponsorship to go get some free agents.
And what kind of
Just
energy
saying.
is being transferred? Do I want to know? Is this
Is it positive? I
Is
hope
this
it's
one of
positive.
those good, wholesome American companies like the Lockheed Martin business I see on the?
You might have heard of some pipelines that people were trying to block.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
You might have heard of
They're
Kelsey
into-
Warren. But
They're
anyways,
into
Oh,
creating
shit.
jobs.
but yeah,
That's
I mean,
what
Ray
they're
Davis was
That's
part
the
of energy
country club
transfer
hat
for a
on.
long time, so I don't even know if they're actually paying much money for this at all. But they are now sleeve sponsor. But there's a lot going on this year. Rangers are hosting the All-Star game this year.
That's right,
Hasn't
baby.
happened since '95, I think.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because I mean, they usually like to do
Why
it
would they
around
come
new
back?
ballparks. So, and they're not. To be fair, I bet that was a miserable experience in July of '95 in August or July in Arlington.
That's right. You're not wrong.
So now,
I don't remember that year, but I'm sure it was hot.
considering I've been to a few games at that old ballpark, I'm not upset that they waited till we got an indoor one to do another All-Star game here. Home run derby should be really cool at this park. That should be super exciting.
So we're going, right? Is that past the rock?
I might potentially be able to get tickets before they go on public sale, but I don't know about all that or how expensive they're going to be. But we'll see.
All right.
Man, there's just so much to talk about for this season. I feel like I'm just bouncing all over the place.
Don't worry, we're
this
gonna
is-
keep derailing you.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
first time ever that we get to be champions. They'll unveil the banner tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure they said is like 20 foot by 30 foot. Because I guess
It better be
they
beautiful.
got nothing else to fly out there.
I swear, that thing needs to be the most glorious banner ever. Because when
All that
No,
matters is
you
that it
need
says
to leave
world
space.
champions and it's got the Rangers on it. So
it needs
Say
to
that.
leave space for future titles.
Well, no, yes, but the first one needs to
None
be
of the
celebrated.
South
You
Mavericks
know,
hang it in the center because we know realistically this is it. Bullshit.
didn't
Because-
have to be. And that's another thing is this offseason, everyone's mad. Not everyone. A lot of fans are mad saying the Rangers should have gone out and spent more money. But I think that's because they all weren't paying attention the 3 years before. They weren't watching when we spent $500 million twice on stocking up the team that actually won.
Do it again.
So what we're doing right now is we're resetting the luxury tax so that we can pay Langford, Carter, all these other young guys again and bring in more people the year after and not have to pay exorbitant amounts on top of it.
you wouldn't have to pay them for like what, at least 4 years of service time. Is that how it works?
But if you don't reset the luxury tax, then all of a sudden you're spending 10 times the salary on tax in a couple of years.
It's all right because when you're winning back to back World Series, you'll make that money back in ticket sales, merchandise,
Unfortunately,
concessions.
owners don't actually care the way fans do about winning. So
Clearly, I mean, look at the other guy in Arlington.
I mean, I'm not saying the Rangers owners specifically. I'm just saying owners.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about the other owner.
I don't think there's a single owner in the Ford Pro Sports who cares more about winning than his profit. So that's that. But we've retained almost the entire team from last year, with a few exceptions. You mentioned Jordan Montgomery. He just signed a 1-year, $25 million deal with the Diamondbacks. I wouldn't have done that. So
I don't know how he got that deal so late into the process.
I wouldn't have done that either, but I can't throw the ball 90 miles an hour.
No, but I mean, yeah, he's 30 plus. There's no sign that last year was as good as he ever pitched. So there's not really any reason to believe that's going to get any better or stay the same. And it might, but
we could apply that to our other 30-plus pitcher, you know?
Well, we already spent the money on them. I would.
Yeah, that's true.
I
We're
would.
already in house.
I would say that I don't really even expect the Diamondbacks to make that big of a run this year. Could be wrong. I think last year they way outperformed themselves, but time will tell. And props to Montgomery. I don't know if the Diamondbacks come here this year, and if they do and he's here, he'll get the biggest standing ovation that any opposing player might have gotten since like Elvis came back for the first time or something.
Yeah, probably.
And so yeah, props to him. We loved him. Mitch Garver went and got paid somewhere. Again, he wasn't
Seattle. He's a Mariner now.
okay. Yeah, and hey,
Oh,
that's a team we will be competing with for the division. Everyone's going to talk about Houston, but Seattle's been competitive the last couple of years. They're pretty salty. I wouldn't put it past them to win the division or find a wild card spot either. And that kind of leads me to what the Rangers kind of talking points have been through spring training is, yeah, we won the World Series last year, but we didn't accomplish all of our goals because the first goal was to win the division. Something they blew in the last week down to the last game. So that's what they're focused on. And, you go win the division, you're in a prime spot to make another run. And, yeah, so we're going to get Rangers-Astros pretty early. I think it's like the second or third series of the year, something like that. And that's going to be fun all year is the fight for the silver boot. We finally have two good teams. We dominated it for a decade or whatever. Then they just smoked us right after that. And now we actually have a rivalry. We have two good teams. They're going to play 19 games against each other. What are they called? The I-45 series, if you want, or the silver boot.
I believe Silver Boot is a lot feels more regal that way instead of calling it the I-45
eventually.
The high-speed rail series. Oh God,
I'll believe it when it's built. I've heard too many tales.
No, it's Brillo's time. They're all in.
You're telling me Arlington's going to get public transport of some sort?
TxDOT said, "Don't worry."
Is it Arlington or is it Dallas to Houston?
I think it's Dallas to Houston.
Yeah.
It probably would have an Arlington. I mean, you already have an Arlington Connect. That already kind of exists.
Jerry ain't playing that. I've touched on this a little bit. We do have two of, if not the top two, preseason Rookie of the Year candidates.
That's right, baby. Evan Carter. Listen, this man's coming back from being a playoff hero, and now he gets to relinquish the weight of that rookie hype onto Wyatt Langford. He gets to, hit absolute piss missiles. Evan Carter gets to do his thing in peace and quiet. He probably won't win Rookie of the Year because Wyatt Langford's going to do it. But, buddy, guess what? We're set up with two young studs for the next decade plus if the Rangers play their cards right, which they will.
That's 2/3 of your outfield, potentially rotating in DH every once in a while. Give some guys a day off. It's incredible.
We already know Evan Carter is all reliable. He's never going to be the sexiest man on earth, but he'll be all reliable.
No, I believe I mentioned it before. He's just the next progression in the Rusty Greer, David Murphy, now Evan Carter. Each one slightly better than the one before them.
He's going to make it into the Hall of Fame one day, and I hope it's as a Ranger, but it's going to be like one of those, damn, he had a hell of a long, good career. You know what I mean? That's a baseball player right there.
And that's an interesting thing about this team is outside of Adolis, we don't have a ton of just bombastic personalities. Simeon and Seager might be the most boring, best players in the league. And I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that. They go out there and they do their job, and they do it better than everybody else.
Bombi does bring a lot of attention by himself, so it's not a bad thing.
He is the heart and soul, if you will.
Every team needs somebody who has that bombastic personality to bring it all together, because if it's just an entire team of born individuals, where's the fire coming from, right? He brings the fire. Everybody else brings that consistent level-headedness that you need. But Bombi's going to get in there and start swinging on those Astro players because you need somebody.
We're done.
You need that wild card.
We've already got that history. We've already done that, Caesar.
I'm not saying that he needs to do it again. I'm saying you need somebody who's capable of popping off like that to rally the team. Rally the team, right? You need that emotional roller coaster of a player.
Really what I think Patrick's trying to get to with what the current state of the Texas Rangers is is there's a lot of baseball guys. We got a lot of
No joke.
baseball
American,
guys.
white American baseball guys.
We
That's
got a lot
right.
of baseball guys. We got a lot of guys that are gonna compete for Morgan Wallen to be their walk-up song. Hey, you pick my Morgan Wallen song. Hey, you pick my Morgan Wallen song. If that's the worst thing we have to deal with in the clubhouse, I think we got it pretty good, man. I also saw your cousin Travis, his wife was over there talking about how it's the biggest like baseball family situation she's ever seen. There's nothing but families. It's a very supportive little thing, world. We built such a nice culture here.
For
this
sure,
is what
and-
baseball's about.
And
That's right.
to bring it back to the Stars a little bit, they've kind of got something similar going on with old man Joe Pavelski bringing up the young guys. He had Wyatt Johnson living with him at the beginning of the season. When Logan Stankoven came up, he lived with them for a couple weeks before he got settled in. And these are the type of things you need. You need guys who are willing
Unless you're in the music industry.
You need guys.
No Diddy.
You need guys who are willing to nurture each other. Honestly, like you need that for the full team build. So you don't have just a bunch of guys. You have a team or a family.
That's right.
If we want
That's
to
right,
talk
Playboy.
Vin Diesel style.
You can't sell the group on the we're the underdogs, no one believes in us, even though we won the title narrative, unless you got a bunch of baseball guys that treat each other like family. We got a goddamn Disney fucking clubhouse right now. This is beautiful. I really hope that, David Robertson, welcome to the club. You're kind of like a nice, attractive looking dude. Don't fuck anybody's wife. I don't know your situation, but don't fuck it up. You know what I mean? Now I'm looking around. Now I'm looking at all these things. I'm like,
there's a bad apple in here
keep
somewhere.
my eye on all of you. All.
Now, talking about, having to sell that underdog story, are the Rangers, because I haven't seen, but are the Rangers betting favorites? Are they near the top?
Or
No,
are they
not really. Not as far as I've seen.
No, that's why I put the lamestream media, because everyone's doubting. Everyone's doubting the truth. I keep telling them that there's a new savior to baseball, and they keep talking about the Yankees, the Dodgers. No. Where does baseball need to thrive in modern America? The hateful South. Where are we at right now? We're ruling, baby. Baseball is back. Nationalism, embrace it. Texas Rangers.
And I mean, I think the Dodgers are a fine pick. Yankees are a little more questionable. They might have a turnaround season. I don't know enough about what's going on
I
up
just said
there.
the Yankees because I have to.
I mean, they're always
SEO.
They're always up there. And in terms of odds, like the Cowboys.
No.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my list about the new stuff, all the new crap happening at Globe Life Field, but I lost it. So
Well, I got all the.
I'll
food.
tell you right now.
I know
We got
about the food.
Whataburger, baby.
Well,
We got Whataburger coming to Globe Life.
He already jumped into it. So we have Whataburger, but I have bad news. I have very bad news for you, gentlemen.
gotta wait.
It's a basic menu.
Well, the other bad news is
How basic? How basic are we
Oh,
talking?
yeah, it's also not open to start. You're right.
it won't be open to start the year.
But the real
Of
bad
course.
news is that it will not have patty melt.
Whoa.
Oh.
What does that even mean?
Nobody knows what it means, but
They
it's
just don't have
evocative.
Texas toast?
From what I see, from what I've seen, it appears as you only have the option of the chicken tenders or 3 different sizes of burger.
Okay. That makes sense. They don't have the full restaurant. They only have a small size.
No,
Yeah.
I am ready to destroy the whole building.
Well, look, if you're going to the ballpark and eating Whataburger, you deserve what you
I
get.
kind of agree, but the patty melt would be so dank. I would pay the $20 for that patty melt.
You can bring in your own food.
I mean, I guess. All right. Here's some
To
other,
go back to the odds real quick, because I don't want to
Oh,
forget
yeah,
about
odds.
this. I put points on the Rangers at plus 1,200.
Plus-
Right
okay,
now,
plus 1,200.
according to FanDuel, the Rangers are plus 1,400. Ahead of them are the Dodgers at 320, Yankees at 900, Braves at 450, Astros at 700.
That's some hate. That's
Hey,
some
ignore
hate
all
on the
the haters.
Rangers.
Watch them until they fade away.
Yeah, and I mean we got to survive.
We're grateful
Like
after all the
we
game we
mentioned
gave.
earlier, the rotation isn't the best in the league, so they survived that long enough to get a couple guys back, which they probably will. Because like I said, I think we got three to four solid starters, and then we'll see what happens with that 5th spot. But
And You
I wanted
know,
to play a little game with that later too. So
Yeah.
we'll get back.
wait, the game do you want to play? Does it involve potential trade candidates?
Not necessarily just yet.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't jumping that far yet. I was
Because
thinking
I was just gonna throw out there for anybody who, like me, might have their concerns about the rotation. Here's the thing: it's a long season. We have a wonderful, strong farm system. There is always potential for moves to be made via the trade market, even though we didn't have any moves made during free agency. So, there's always hope.
It's not entirely true.
What do you mean? It's not true that we can't get
Not entirely true that we didn't do anything in free agency.
No, I'm saying we didn't attack free agency the way I'm sure a lot of fans wanted it to happen,
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure they wanted big splash moves.
I mean, Lorenzen's definitely not a bad get. You guys might not know the name, but that's a pretty solid arm.
Yeah,
and
again, I'm talking about splash moves,
he said
something
the word
the casual
God
fan.
like 15 times in his 5-minute press
You
conference.
say God?
So, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
Texas Ranger.
So he's
That's-
Texas Ranger. I think he's another baseball guy.
My David Murphy Baylor Rangers jersey behind me.
That's a baseball.
So-
that's a baseball
Old church
guy
dad.
right there. That's baseball. guy.
Listen, the only person I've seen say God more times in a 5-minute speech more than that guy. I was at a wedding, and the groom's father was like, "All right, this wedding is about God." 10 minutes later, I think he said God about 60 times.
Oh yeah.
Can he push for more?
You go to a Southern wedding, you can make that a drinking game, and you'll be fucking getting thrown out of there by the end of the sermon.
Dog, Champagne Seas came out that night. I don't think I could have taken more alcohol.
Sipping just every time.
I had 3 bottles.
Drinking every time they say the word God.
I had 3 bottles of Andre Champagne that day. Okay, I took the clock back to 2013. Okay,
You were Andre 3K.
I was Andre 3K again.
But yeah, so we're talking about new additions to the ballpark, to everything, to food. I wanted to mention some other cuisines here. Take it into this side of the world.
I'm so excited. Let's
So
hear
you
about
got Golden Chick, who's already in there, right? Now
They're
you're gonna have a portable chicken and waffle.
it.
I don't know if that moves the meter or not.
That moves the meter for me. I love me a good chicken and
So-
waffle.
What about Hurtado? Yeah, is that it's Hurtado, right? The barbecue place.
I can't say I'm familiar with
I
it.
think it's Hurtado's. Either way, they have a fried brisket taco.
All right. Now, is it a breaded fried or is it
it's
just
Hurtado? They've got the birria tacos.
media?
I can't say that.
Nope.
I can roll the R, but not great.
Don't worry. You can leave the Spanish pronunciation to me.
They got
That's what I'm here
they're
for.
doing brisket elote, and yeah, birria tacos. Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
We got Korean pork steam buns, which I'm not gonna lie.
Sold.
That was pretty sick.
depends on who's making them, but yeah, I like the idea.
Garlic meatball garlic knot sliders.
I'm gonna try that tomorrow.
Whoa.
It's like
The
a
boomstick-
skewer. It's a skewer that's got a garlic knot meatball.
Okay,
It looks
okay.
like it's clogging your heart in the best ways possible.
All right. I bet you that's going to run you a pretty penny, right? Do we have prices on these?
All of these are at least.
They
50.
do not. They're not gonna list the prices.
They never do.
I know they
The
altered the
boom-
boomstick. You got that?
The boomstick is now the boomstick triple play. You get a burger, a hot dog, and nachos. All in
That's-
like however they're doing the boomstick.
That's going to run you a cool $30.
Yeah, probably.
But it probably
Um,
feeds at least 3 people.
And then here we go. Here I am going to
Here we
try to pronounce
go.
this. Even when I was a server, I used to try to fucking speed through this one real
Bon
quick.
me.
But no, that one's easy. So now instead of a chili dog, there is a chili Reneo. I
Rihanna.
believe is Rihanna.
Yeah.
Relleno?
Yeah.
Relleno? All right.
Which is
Oh.
what, just like a stuffed pepper?
Chile relleno. Okay,
It's like
okay. It's a
stuffed
stuffed
relleno,
pepper.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but
The chili
I know they're very
Relleno.
popular.
And so, yeah, basically, if you don't know what that is, it's a stuffed jalapeno pepper, right? Basically,
Yeah, and with a like a salsa on top.
Does it go in like mole or is that not?
Not mole,
I'm
no.
sure you could probably put mole on it, though.
I wouldn't recommend it, but
I couldn't remember.
I've never been a big mole guy, no matter how I've had it.
Not for me.
I don't. It's tough, but now that I've had more Indian food, I think I could probably reapproach mole with a different like mind frame and be able to do it better. The other thing I wanted to mention about food before we moved on from that, Arlington Eats is now going to be a thing at every single Rangers home game this season. If you don't know what Arlington Eats. Okay. So it's their collaboration with I think they said 7 local Arlington businesses to sell food at this arena at every Rangers game this season. And it was a small thing that they did last year. They were able to scale it out to the entire 81 home game schedule.
That's partner up with your local community right there. I like that.
And like I said, I mean, we all talk shit about this Texas Rangers stadium. Some people who are haters and root for cheating, bullshit, ugly colored teams, they like to say that it's a rip-off ballpark. And you know what? I even will give them that. But you know what this rip-off ballpark is giving me?
A lot of food.
Title is giving me real free agents that are going to go into the Hall of Fame with the Rangers cap on. Outside of just poor Adrian Beltre and Pudgy, you're going to go in and you're going to go in and you're going to give me all of these great food places to eat. Don't forget that we've got Pluckers in there, right? You've got all kinds of fun options to go and eat at the stadium.
I just can't imagine going to the ballpark and eating something that you could actually eat anywhere else, like Pluckers, Golden Chick, Whataburger. I don't get it.
But that's consumerism. This is why I've always stood firm on the Rangers should be the most dominant franchise in Dallas, because it makes no sense as a business model why we couldn't get this city to be at every damn game and overly invested in this, helping them fund whatever they need to win the title. Because it makes so much sense, bro. Think about why the Cowboys home games suck. It's perfect for why the Rangers games are worth so much money.
Meatball sliders. Nah, that's not going to show up well.
No, but I get the idea.
And strawberries.
We got chicken empanadas.
Oh.
And ranchero chile relleno dog. That's what he was talking about earlier.
Ranchero chile relleno dog.
So that's why.
Still trying to find my list about the actual updates on the stadium itself.
That's why the Coleman Grill at the ballpark in Arlington, next to the real ballpark in Arlington, is a great home arena because it's a profit-making machine, baby.
That's true.
Except for if they're going to try to host, like high school baseball, in which they don't put a lot of effort into.
Now, I need a report back from you, Patrick, when you go to the games. I don't know where you park, but I vividly remember the prices of the parking lots because my go-to lot used to be a cool, crisp $25. And then that 30, was for the 2022
I think 30 is the cheap ones right now.
And then 2023 came around. They hadn't won anything yet. And that shit skyrocketed to about $40. I'm like, what the fuck is this $15
they had $1 billion
increase?
They had $1 billion go into 2 different players all of a sudden.
Dude, honestly, you should just go to I parked at Lowe's last time and paid like $20 for their garage.
Oh, I now park over by their esports arena. That's
damn, bro.
I think for tomorrow, I'm going to actually park in a lot, partially because the podcast that I like called The Dumb Zone is recording their tomorrow episode from Lot D, but also just because I don't want to deal with it. Usually I park at like one of those banks, and then there's like a shuttle where you like give the guy $1 and he just takes you on a bus.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm into that. I just now learned that the Rangers are updating the turf on the field. I don't actually know what that means. Same style as the old one with a darker color contrast. Okay, so it's still that like weird ground up coconut or something. Whatever weird new bit they're trying out. The color is going to be a little bit darker. So it'll probably pop more.
Beautiful. What about the artwork that we're talking about? Everyone's excited about the Went and Took It mural.
I'm trying to
like,
find. I got like an official
48 hours.
update with a list.
And I was like, this kind of almost it doesn't. It leaves some desire. Is how I was looking at the Went and Took It. I'm excited for what it represents. I still have no idea why it doesn't have the World Series trophy in the middle of the mural.
In that one, yeah.
It just would have been so perfect. It just doesn't make sense.
I know that I read there's some other spots where it is.
And I'm sure it is, but like,
you know what I don't like about
that
that though is they don't. I'd rather them just use pictures. I don't like that it's images of the guys.
They don't look very good.
Kind of like as much as I love Jamie Newberg and his book, I don't love that fake cartoon filter.
What the fuck is that?
That's Seager after the Game 1 home run.
No, I know it's supposed to be Seager.
It's the same thing. It's like they used to do that for some like financial commercials where they like film it and then they put that cartoon layer on it.
It's probably to get maybe that's how they get around paying for the image rights.
I think it's just people seem to like it. I don't know why.
Now, gentlemen, do any of y'all have the World Series edition jerseys of the?
Oh, not yet.
I ordered one.
I will.
I'm wearing the hat right now, if you can tell.
Because our good friend of the show, Tyler Owen, sent me a picture. He got his. I don't know how he got his in Chicago before anybody else got theirs in Texas, but he got.
Mine's not gonna get here till April 15th, and I ordered it 2 weeks ago.
I tell you what, man, that that one actually looks good. Like I don't think Fanatics made this one. There's no way in hell Fanatics made something of this quality.
I'm sure he got the real deal Holyfield. What did he get, Seager?
Oh no, he got El Bombi, baby. He's just like me. He's an El Bombi guy.
They are on DH Gate.
And
if you're looking to save some money.
Nah, bro, not for a title jersey.
Not for the title jersey.
They're the same jerseys.
I don't care.
They make them, sell them to the team, and then sell them to us for cheaper.
Corey Seager went out there and fought for my right to overpay for a jersey. Don't take that away from me.
That's right.
In my search for the updates to Globe Life Field, here's an interesting headline. Bella Hadid seen at Texas Rodeo with boyfriend.
Hey,
what?
I don't know who that one is.
Bella Hadid? Yeah. Okay. She dated The Weeknd for a while.
She's following the path of Jewel, getting into the PBR ranks.
Listen, and she's basically the subject of every other Weeknd song. So
she beautiful and she fine.
She's a stripper?
No, that's whenever The Weeknd is singing with Future on the track.
Oh, because what was it? Well, one of the songs. What was the Beauty Beyond the Madness? What was the album?
Yeah, Beauty Beyond the Madness.
There's a song that's
one of his worst albums
about a stripper. And I love it. It sounds like it's right. It was in his I Want to Be MJ.
Was that part of the trilogy?
No, it was after.
No, it was right. It was
his first mainstream album.
The trilogy was his recent stuff, right?
Yeah. If you put it that way.
The trilogy was like popular, but it wasn't mainstream. And then that album was the mainstream.
Yeah, because you had the order of things is you had like House of Balloons, Thursday. I forgot what the other mixtape was. Then he just puts that into a compilation, calls it the trilogy. Then the first official album is called Kissland. I didn't like that one.
Kissland. No, Kissland has Wanderlust, the Pharrell remix.
Wanderlust is really good. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of Kissland. And then we have Beauty Behind the Madness. But then he goes on this new run where it's like, he's in his MJ bag now with Starboy, After Hours, and this last album that came out.
Dawn FM, which Dawn FM doesn't have as many of your like radio singles, but I think front to back is sonically one of the best albums I've ever listened. Like the music, one of the best things I've ever listened to.
Absolutely.
What?
You use the Reddit word.
Sonically?
The police are going to come after us.
Look, man.
Wait, what?
It's an incredibly produced album.
No, it does sound really good. It
got Jim Carrey in it.
But before we get back to the business at hand, Will you admit that Starboy is one of the worst songs that's ever been written ever?
No,
I'm a
I don't
motherfucking
like
star
it,
boy.
but
No,
not
I'm
even
a
near.
motherfucking
star
Not even near the bottom.
that's nowhere near his worst song.
It's at least catchy, which means it's better than 90% of songs I've heard in my life.
No, you guys are not.
No,
you're not being
no.
I like
You're not going to disparage anything produced by Daft Punk on this goddamn channel.
Yes, I am going to even Daft Punk.
You are wrong on this one, buddy. Now, if you wanted to come here and tell me False Alarm was the worst thing that he's ever put out there, then I would agree with you. But Starboy, he has worse songs than Starboy.
I'm a motherfucking Starboy.
Have you not
Okay,
heard
if you
False
just
Alarm?
put that voice on anything.
Yeah.
But it's just how I feel whenever I hear that song. I'm sorry. I just can't take it seriously. It never happened.
All right. Well, I don't ever want to hear
album.
you
Just take that
promoting
song.
Yeah.
anything Post
He has a song with
Malone
Ed
or-
Sheeran, damn it. Like, that song's bad.
Post Malone doesn't sound exactly like that, but it is very childish music. Or it's
No,
very
it's
like
all bad.
I don't know if it's that bad. It's just very cookie cutter in a lot of ways. It's very formulaic.
I've probably brought this up before, but there's a guy I know I listened to who told a story about seeing him right around the time White Iverson released. Said he did a concert, needed White Iverson, and he's like, well, I don't really have anything else, so you guys want me to do that one again? And he played it like 4 times in a row.
That was beautiful. Listen, White Iverson was a moment.
I like that one. I do like that one.
It's a shame he turned his
You don't
back
like
on the
Wow?
culture.
Well, he's making his money and you can't be mad at him. Same with
you don't
Drake.
think Wow is one of the best songs that's ever been written? You don't think that's going to go up there with the Lennon McCartney classics?
It's as good
Bump and
as
Fall Out Boy.
I don't
When
know.
they see me saying wow.
I don't think I've even heard that.
Dak Prescott touchdown. You've heard wow. That's like a really popular one, unfortunately.
I
I'm
really
Muhammad in the W blowing and the W rolling.
maybe I have. I don't know.
It's a moment. It's
what
a moment
album-
when we go. I'm saying wow.
I don't,
What,
I
what
don't
album
recognize
was that on?
though? Does he have albums?
He does. He has
He
multiple
really
albums.
does sing it like that though. That's
I
the
didn't-
thing.
Stoney, Beer Bongs and Bentley, Hollywood's Bleeding.
I didn't know popular
he's so
artists made
popular.
albums anymore.
Bro, he's actually hella popular. You know that, right?
Yeah, like 58,
I know he's hella popular.
58.4 million monthly listeners
So
on
is Drake.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I finally fucking found the document. Okay, so now we can get into back to the Rangers.
Sorry, we had to buy time.
No, yeah, it worked. We vamped
Poster
perfectly.
Malone.
All right. So obviously we mentioned Whataburger. It'll be located on the 100 level main course. If you
Future
care,
sponsor of the show, Whataburger, by the way.
I'd take it.
Pappy Vanderwinkle will go play.
I don't care about that. There's something called the Comerica Backyard. It's going to be in center field. 4,000 square foot space, like a patio eating and drinking area.
Oh, yeah.
There's something called a high school hat wall that's going to display all the 6A and 5A high school baseball teams' hats. So I'll go take a picture of my, well, I guess they're the Richmond Royals now, so I probably won't even recognize the logo. Rashi
just-
Rice's own.
Is it all DFW 5A, 6A schools?
6A and 5A high school
West High
baseball
School
hats
there.
from the North Texas area.
All right. If you see a WT White hat, you take a picture of that for me. Thank you,
You might
very
have
much.
to let me know what that
Longhorns.
might look like.
They don't want
Okay.
to put. They don't wanna
It's
put-
literally just burnt orange and white, buddy.
All
Burnt
right.
orange and white, your favorite
Oh,
colors.
you guys just straight up stole it all, huh?
Yeah,
Why don't they
100%.
Put the West High School Trojans on there. Scott Pasednik. That's a World
Lance-
Series MVP right there.
Lance Dunbar's high school just used Texas Fight as their theme song. They're our rivals. So every time they would score, I'd just kind of be like, okay.
The Texas fight is we are working on the railroad. So
We've been working on the railroad.
There's a bunch of
Oh,
different there's a
man.
bunch of different songs set to that exact tune. That's just one of them.
Oh, that's the most famous one. Yeah,
I'm
arguably.
sorry, bro. When I'm a little kid, I learned we are working on the railroad, not fight Texas fight.
I've been working on the railroad first of
No,
all.
we are. This is communist America now.
Okay. We also got the 421 Food Hall and Highball Lounge.
Oh, hey,
421?
Wait.
Why couldn't they just say
These are
420?
things that are closing. The Food Hall and Highball Lounge due to underutilization of the space. So now they're pointing us to different places we can go get mixed drinks. Some out of the stadium and some in the stadium.
So
Maybe
you're
their
telling
drinks
me I
weren't so
still don't
goddamn
have
expensive.
a way to light up a fake doobie and watch the Texas Rangers at the same time unless it's in the house.
I'll mention here the last day of the ballpark in Arlington, because I went to the last game. I made sure to smoke as many cigarettes in the cigarette areas. Mostly it was the third level. You have to like sit like behind the line or like past the line where like the giant baseball lights are on the outside. There's like a little tiny strip. But on the walk-up ramp, for some reason, like 3/4 of the way up, there was one little corner, and I just sat there and chain smoked cigarettes for an inning just to say I did it.
Beautiful.
But here we go. Things to see around Globe Life Field. Large player graphics commemorating the 2023 World Series champion.
First place Texas Rangers.
So we got the Corey Seager World Series Game 1 home run still, which will probably be a statue here in a few years anyways.
It's got to go behind
in the same
Feliz and Benji Molina.
In the same concourse, we got Adolis Garcia's walk-off home run, which actually that's probably the one y'all saw, right? Already, I think that might. Nope, that's not the mural. So we haven't. I haven't seen that yet. West main concourse, there's the image of the team celebration, and then the southeast main concourse, Marcus Simeon's Game 5 home run.
Hell yeah, brother!
Mural. We got the Winton Took It mural that you guys have seen.
Hated it.
Yeah, I mean, the Rangers won the World Series, so I'm just kind of like, yep, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, but that makes it more important to really just cement the fact that this is Titletown, USA.
And then there'll be
the Rangers, the Stars, the Mavericks.
Around section 110, we'll get the All-Star Game graphic, which I'm guessing is going to be whatever the logo is. I don't know when they're going to start wearing that. Eventually, it'll be on jerseys and hats. I'm not sure. Then we got the World Series champion graphic. Don't know what that means. Then there's new banners, exterior entry banners that feature the Commissioner's Trophy, which is your World Series trophy, or as the Commissioner called it, a piece of metal. Inside, we got new banners featuring the 2024 Rangers. That's every year. They just update the current players on the banners that you see walking around. So this is interesting. 2 new jersey displays inside the TXU Energy North Entry.
Yeah, the sculptures.
One commemorating the ALCS and one commemorating the World Series. And then we got the rafter banner, which
the whole reason
facing the field.
It's
facing the field above the North Entry. There'll be a new 2023 World Series champions banner added to the division and pennant banners.
Hell yeah, brother!
Big, 4 times as big, 1,000 times bigger.
Ooh, fuck yes! I didn't even read this far. Sorry, I just got really excited. Starting in 2024, all Globe Life Field seats will have access to in-seat ordering.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
The worst part about going to a baseball game is unless there's a hot dog guy walking around, I'm going to miss like 3 innings trying to get a damn Coke. So I'll pay whatever the extra is to get my
Hey buddy, it's North Texas. You can get a key bump anywhere in that stadium. Oh, you're talking about the drink. Oh, you're talking about the drink. Sorry.
Yeah. They're not in downtown Dallas, right?
Oh no, but downtown Dallas does come up to these games.
Whenever you're wondering where all the Mavs and Stars fans are at the beginning of the first.
Why the line of those bathrooms is so goddamn long
in the powder room.
Which I don't ever understand, because in my day, you could do that pretty quick and efficiently. But anyways.
In Pappy Bullwinkle's day, we used to just chew on the leaf.
It was in the Coca-Cola. And then if you're someone like me who paid for a season, or not, I didn't get full season tickets, but a ticket plan, you get discounts on merch and stuff with your ID. If you didn't already know that.
Damn.
And that's pretty much it for the new stuff. I'm going to go back up here and look at Yep, that's pretty much it. So that's all new stuff. A lot of it's kind of the yearly stuff that you would normally have, but now we've got championship stuff to throw on top of it.
Because we champions, baby.
Now everything has to be gold. Gold all in my chain.
Go out of my range.
This is probably a good time.
Leave me just watch.
Probably a good time to bring up something to look at whenever the first Dodgers home game is. Ohtani's walk-up music. Do you guys know what that is? What it has been?
Oh man, when the phone
Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani. Okay, it's actually 24 karat magic. So we're gonna wonder if he keeps that or if he maybe goes with something in Japanese. So no one knows.
That's pretty good. What if he was like, no, I want to go after the great American songman Frank Sinatra.
The Kenny Rogers bit would be really funny. I would like that. And honestly, I've always been surprised that hasn't become a sing along for Rangers. We got Low Places at Stars games, which I don't really like that song very much. But I do like it when 20,000 people are singing it together. I'll like any song if 20,000 people are singing it together.
No, because you know what? I knew January 6th was always liable to happen because I've seen that many people.
What? What?
I've seen the power of that many white people entranced by something. I think Sweet Caroline, Sweet Home Alabama,
incredible
and that fucking song. All three of them are capable.
Don't pull Low Places with those other two songs.
All three of them are capable of taking us to places we don't want to be again. I've seen the power it has. It's hypnotism. This is cultural. I understand it. I am of this species.
I think you're too deep. I think you're too deep in the belly of the beast.
No, he's in the right area.
You can't see the forest through the trees here.
When you start to see the people stand up, they're like, I got friends in low places.
Also,
white as hell.
I'd be very interested in what the Venn diagram is of insurrectionists and anyone who's actually attended a hockey game before. Not very high.
If I had to go on personal vibes, I've met a lot of people that give me vibes like they're. I mean, and we did lead the league in insurrectionists.
Yeah, but
goddamn,
I'd be willing to bet most of those people own Cowboys jerseys, and Rangers jerseys.
Cowboys and Stars are located in the same.
Stars are a whole. What do you mean the same area?
They are located in a market we call the Dallas-Fort Worth market. It's the fourth largest media market in the world, maybe fifth. I can't remember.
It's moving from fifth to fourth currently. I don't know if it's officially gotten its way in there yet.
So I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of people here that like to root for the sports teams. It's crazy in the same market.
Anyways, before we get all of us CIA abducted.
Hey man, I already did that one time. I can't do it again.
A second darkness retreat in 2 weeks.
That ayahuasca tasted terrible. I'll tell you what.
That's what I hear. I hear you vomit a lot and diarrhea.
Yeah, man.
Good Carter.
So yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else we might have missed here.
So there's some stuff. Okay. So bring it back into it.
Oh God.
Okay. So one of the things that we haven't talked about is one of the things I suggested is it's 2K the show. I don't know who the fuck makes the video game.
MLB the show.
Yeah, the video game for baseball. If you had to put your dream playoff pitching rotation for the Texas Rangers this year together, 2K style. So that means you can bring in whoever you want. You have trade override. That means the health is all up to you.
Oh, well then can I just have Shohei Ohtani and I'll just pitch him for
but he can't throw this
games. Oh, he might be all right by playoff time.
2K, you're right, it's 2K. Anyway, so that's what I guess let's do a more realistic one. Since I guess maybe Ohtani is realistic if it's true that he can opt out after a year. But I feel like that's not a true story.
He's got a really complicated contract, and I haven't dug through it yet. Oops, god damn it, that's gonna ruin things. It's all right.
Either way, bring him to Texas, baby.
I need to know your dream pitching rotation. You
just want the top pitch? You just want the top pitchers in baseball, or like realistic?
Realistically, for this Texas Rangers team, either with what we have currently or adding something else realistically. Or even maybe Owen White. Is he a pitcher? I don't even remember.
He is. He's still young, and he's shown good signs and also shown some scary signs. So we'll see. I'm going to go through.
Same with Jack Leiter. Lederhosen.
The Lederhosen in the clubhouse. All right.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to pull up a list of guys who are on pretty much the last year of their contract or whatever.
While you do that, I'm looking at
That's who you're going to be trading for. You're not trading.
Yeah,
you're almost never
essentially-
trading for someone who's under contract.
Right now, you've got if the playoffs started tomorrow, what you get? Uvalde, Gray, Heaney, Dunning,
DeGrom,
Bradford.
Odorizzi might be. Oh no, Odorizzi's
if
gone.
they started-
DeGrom.
if they started
Oh,
today.
today. Sorry. Yeah.
That's what. So Uvalde, John Gray, Heaney, Dunning, Bradford, essentially.
Lorenzen.
Maybe Mike Lorenzen. He's going to start the season injured as well, though. Molly.
No, Molly's injured.
Molly's injured, but
Yeah.
Lorenzen, I believe, is also going to start the season.
Is he? Oh no, I think he's just going to go down to the minors to get
warmed up.
Yeah, because he hasn't been in.
So he might
camp.
miss like a week.
But he's also fringe bullpen, fringe rotation. So yeah, you have Aldi Gray, Heaney, Dunning, and then you're discussing Bradford, Dunning, and Lorenzen as the other guys. So that's the five that we have right now. Oh yeah, I forgot Dylan Cease went to the Padres, so we can't get him anymore.
Right.
That happened recently.
That would have been the big fish that we kind of already missed on. That's why I wasn't necessarily looking at trade options, but it's possible. I saw some funny names.
And it's tough because we talked about this last year a bunch when it came deadline time. With the expansion of the playoffs, less teams are selling at the deadline now because you just have more chances to get in. I mean, the Diamondbacks made it in as a bottom team and almost won the whole thing. So, who do we got? I think Tanner Scott is going to be available probably at some point. Actually, is he a free agent right now? No, he's still on the Marlins roster. He's a good name. I don't know too much about him, but I know he's a good name.
What about these free agents? And I just want to know some of these free agents and why they're not signed. So I know Madison Bumgarner's old as fuck. Is he even actually still attempting to play baseball, or is his name just on lists?
I wouldn't. If you asked me before telling me that he's on any list, I would have told you that he retired a while ago. But let's see here.
And then
he's
what
considering pitching in 2024.
Oh, I see. Well,
interesting.
If he's considering,
so my guess is he's gonna wait, try to find a team that's competitive, sign a little 1-year deal, and hop on around the trade deadline. So he'll be in the mix.
Zach Greinke, is he just dead? I was stunned to see him on a list.
Well, I mean
still trying.
He's always had injury concerns. When he's good, he's great. But
this was one of the guys they thought we would trade for in 2011, man.
Yeah, he's. Man, so
okay, Julio Urias, wasn't he good?
He is good.
And why is he a free agent still? Did he suck on a lady's titty or something?
No, that guy. That guy who grabbed his own mom's titty actually.
That's the team.
Oh,
he's actually on the team. And he's on the Pirates. And there's Martin Perez. And either one of them could come back here midway through the season for a couple of prospects. I would bet Chapman's not near the top of the list for guys we would bring back just because of the white knuckle ride. But I mean,
the white knuckle ride.
He still got the job done in the playoffs, despite how gross it was. Here's what's going on with Julio Urias. The LA District Attorney's Office will not file felony charges stemming from a September arrest. But he's got a 20-game suspension. Yeah.
What do you do wrong?
He might be in Japan. Domestic violence. Alleged domestic
mind.
battery.
No, we're a family team here.
And child.
That's not how the Texas Rangers program is going to work.
Yeah, forget about World Series champion Matt Bush or Aroldis Chapman. I guess Matt Bush didn't domestically violence someone. He just got drunk and made a guy paraplegic with his motorcycle or something.
What about Stellan Skarsgård's cousin Noah? Syndergaard. Why is he a free agent? What happened?
Noah
to his-
Syndergaard.
Yeah.
Things have changed so much that like it
People
used to be all these guys would be signed by the winter meetings, and I don't know precisely what's changed is in terms of why maybe teams just feel they're deeper than they used to be. I'm not sure. Not too long ago, unsigned, unrestricted free agent, looking to keep his MLB career going. He hasn't been an All-Star since 2016. He only pitched 88 innings last year with a 6.5 ERA.
Gross.
Yeah. So if you're
No,
looking,
thank you.
Yeah, the teams that they're looking that they say it might get him, only one of them might be competitive, which is the Red Sox. The other two being the Pirates and the A's. So he's kind of looking for a bounce back year to try to. And you know what? If he signs with one of those teams and pitches really well, then yes, he is a potential guy. But I wouldn't bet any money on him having that good of a year.
So
he just tested positive for COVID 2 weeks ago.
Ew. So what about Molly?
Molly, All-Star.
What do I need to know
last
about
year.
Molly?
All-Star last year and pitched a no-hitter. Is that right? Am I thinking of the right guy, or was that Lorenzen?
I don't know, man.
Hard life we have. Which stud pitcher are you talking about? Oh, I lost count.
Yeah. So he had Tommy John last year.
Oh.
I'm not sure. We signed him on a 2-year deal, so I'm guessing. Oh yeah, so he's just like DeGrom and Scherzer. He'll be coming back after the All-Star game, and we'll see if he can actually play this year. He's not the guy he was not the All-Star.
So the way we're gonna pitch it to you guys, Ranger fans, we got a 1 out of 3 chance at an ace.
Unlock my odds, baby.
And maybe even a 3 out of 3. We might have 3 aces join our 4th ace, and then have a 5th ace in Dane Dunning. And the only reason I'm saying that Dane Dunning is an ace now is because if I was to take this from dream pitching rotation to dream blunt rotation, Dane Dunning's number 1 on the list. Number 1. But I found out this dude can cook well. He's got jokes. What's not to like?
All right, so who's on the bottom of this blunt rotation list? Like, who's
Probably
the nightmare?
Probably Nathan Baldy. With all due no, Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer for sure.
Okay, sorry. And just to go back, you were correct.
High energy.
Lorenzen
I'm
is
not
starting.
gonna know where to look because the eye color thing's gonna fuck with me a little bit.
Is he a heterochromio guy?
Oh man,
is he? Is that he has 2 different colored eyes?
Scherzer has 2 different color eyes. And he's just so high energy, you know what I mean? Like if he smokes weed, is he just gonna get paranoid and weird? So I think that's where I would go.
Just to go back to Lorenzen, he's starting on the 15-day injured list, but it can be backdated for him to be available by April 9th.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But last year, he's the one who last year he was an all-star and he threw a no-hitter.
So I think, gentlemen, we're getting to a point where we need to get these betting odds for game 1. We got some prop bets going.
I could pull something up, I'm sure.
Because this is the most important. Well, not most important.
Gamble.
All right, we're not allowed to gamble, but that doesn't.
We're talking about putting points on it.
Yeah. Listen,
theoretical money.
Theoretical money on what prop bets are available against Chicago Cubs on night 1.
The great Governor Greg Abbott has told me that I can't have gambling.
Okay, here you
go. No.
Are you looking for
Paxton? His bitch ass.
Oh, this.
I should be careful.
Ken
I want to go another darkness retreat.
Ken Paxton did nothing wrong.
Well, hey,
Texas Ranger baseball.
That's not what the darkness retreat taught me. Okay.
Pappy Bullwinkle backs Ken Paxton and is against any of these so-called rhinos.
There are not a lot of great props here. Here we
now,
go.
when you say against rhinos, are we talking about those gas station rhino pills? Is that what Pappy Van Winkle's against?
It's a bunch of rhinos. And they're taking Rhino Bills.
So, the views of Pappy Van Winkle are his and his alone on this podcast. We here, the members of the Pass the Rock podcast community, support those who want to use gas station Rhino dick pills.
Pappy Bullwinkle.
Pappy Bullwinkle, that's his name, not Van Winkle. I'm thinking of the whiskey.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry. There's not a lot of actual prop bets for this game.
All right. Well, what's the over under on this? Is there any over unders?
Yeah. What's the action on?
So yeah, if you're just looking at straight up bets, over unders at 8. I would probably hit the over on that, but the difference is that's -115 and the unders -105. So the Rangers are favored to win at -122, and they've got the Rangers listed at -1.5 on the spread. Sorry. Plus 164 for the Rangers at -1.5, or you can take a slightly safer bet that the Cubs will keep it within 1 at -200.
Now, do we know anything about these Cubs?
They're okay. They're not great.
All right. So it sounds like
Cody Bellinger.
There's some names you'll recognize.
Cody Bellinger. That's a
they're a
baseball
classic.
name.
They're a classic team, so it's fun. They finished second in the NL Central last year, but it wasn't a strong division by any means.
What's their? They're not Sick'em Bears. What do they do?
they're sicko bears.
They go wiggly, wiggly, wiggly.
I think that they do Harry Carey impressions, and
Well, listen, I've been to a Cubs game at Wrigley Field. It really felt like if you had dropped a stadium, right?
mm-hmm.
You dropped a stadium in Uptown Dallas, and the entire Uptown Dallas crowd just came in there. Of course, with some SMU kids. That's what that felt like. That was the energy at that time. Now, it could have just been because it was a Saturday.
Coming in there and tossing the powder up like LeBron.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Now, I don't know. I've only ever been to one Cubs game, courtesy of Tyler Owens. Minor league pitcher for the Texas Rangers, Tyler Owens, friend of the show, Tyler Owens.
And future NFL safety.
Oh, they do. Their bids take me out to the ball game. Duh. But that's at their home games. They get like a celebrity to come sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
And they do it.
The worst one. The worst one was it Roseanne? Yeah, I think she did it.
I could do it worse than Roseanne.
I don't know. Let me try to pull it up here.
I'll do Screamo. I'll do the Screamo version.
Can you do a Taking Back Sunday version of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"? Take me out to the ball game.
Here we go. Oh, I guess hers was the national anthem. I could have sworn it was "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Either way, what are we looking for here? We're looking for people's predictions because I've got a bunch of predictions. I've got a bunch of lamestream media members.
Go ahead and go over what you got there.
So, of CBS?
Well, I just about immediately interrupt you with something you're gonna really enjoy.
Is this breaking news?
Breaking news?
It's not news. This is just something I just found in a search.
Is it pornographic?
On 3. Me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball.
Scotty doesn't know the lyrics.
The camera guy behind him trying not to lose it. He's side-eyeing somebody. Cubbies.
Got some good bass to his voice, though, Scotty.
Okay. He said 1 dose, 3 strikes, you're out.
Oh man, that was great.
Don't take that out on Scotty. He was out partying late the night before.
He's clearly trying to read the lyrics in front of him and he still gets it wrong.
He's a little old, you know what I mean?
It's only like one of the most popular oldest songs in the country.
Listen, it's okay.
Yeah.
He brought more titles to that town than the Cubs ever have. It's okay.
To who? To who is the most popular?
I don't think he did.
What do you mean? The Cubs have 6 World Series championships.
Was he there for all 6?
Yes, he was there for all 6.
Okay.
You needed the Scotty rings. You need Scotty Beam for the Scotty rings.
As far as I know, the Cubs are just a classic franchise, but they ain't won shit.
They got
Last time I
got
checked,
3
Michael
World
Jeffrey
Series
Jordan
titles.
wasn't a 6'8" point guard.
They got 3 World Series titles and 6 pennants. It's not nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's doubled their world titles. So
That's how many the Rangers are going to have in about.
That's right.
2024.
While Langford, the 3-6, the 3, right? That's 3 MVPs. The 6, that's going to be the number of titles on his hands, baby.
All right, so we have to mention the haters, okay? Because this is what every good podcast does: is they focus all their energy on the haters. Nothing about the positive, nothing about yourself or anything about it. Only the people specifically talking shit.
That's right.
So CBS has 6 writers that they have covering baseball. All 6 of them pick the assholes to win the division. 4 of them picked
Safe
Wyatt
bet.
Langford to be Rookie of the Year, and 1 of them picked Evan Carter.
All right.
The Sporting News' model picked us to finish 3rd in the West.
Seattle and Houston ahead of us.
Yes.
That's
DraftKings has
that's
us.
fair.
DraftKings has us at 88.5 wins for the season.
No.
Haters.
No one picking a repeat, as far as I could see. The Athletic
It's smart
was
money.
sexy. The Athletic was sexy with their prediction. They had 3 for 5 with the home run and double and 3 RBIs for Wyatt's debut. They said DeGrom's going to get activated, come back, have a 5-1 record with a 1.91 ERA, start
Beautiful.
the first postseason game. But then they didn't pick us to win the division or the AL.
No, I mean, look, as it was as fun as last year was, and I expect us to be competitive again this year. The Astros aren't getting worse.
I have more haters. Justin Verlander's brother,
You can't finish that sentence.
who yesterday I learned is actually somewhat a notable baseball, pundit, not pugnant. He is kind of pugnant, but not pundit. And he was a hater. He did not pick us to win. He actually picked us, I think, to tie with the Mariners for 2nd place and win the division for a tiebreaker or whatever. ESPN was respectful enough to call us the biggest threats to the title, but ranked us 6th overall. And then the Fan put out a 14-minute video talking about
which
the Rangers. Huh?
Which the Fan?
Our
You know
fan?
which one. You know
At
which
Dallas?
one. The shitty one. And
What?
You didn't answer.
So many of them.
the
There's
Fan.
a fan in every single sports market.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yes. Why would I go to? I'm surprised the Fan in Houston didn't pick us.
I mean, New York.
no. The Fan put out a 14-minute long video about the Rangers forecasting the season, but the first 3 minutes were just pot shots at Jerry Jones being cheap, and I turned it off, so I don't actually know what they said.
Well, they are the Cowboys station.
I know. I just wanted to take that shot at the Fan, if I'm being honest. That's the only reason I put that there. Basically, what I'm saying is this is good for the narrative, because the front runner thing is never going to work for the Texas Rangers in this phase of the dynasty. This phase is where people are going to call me irrational. They call me a madman. They're going to tell me it hasn't been done since the 90s Yankees. You know what baseball needs right now? Baseball needs the 90s Yankees. They got cheaters trying to pose as dynasties. This is pure American baseball right here. This is what Bud Selig died for. Bud Selig's probably still
Don't know what to
alive.
do with it. Yeah, alive and well. Former Brewers owner.
Yeah, but he was a baseball guy. He wanted to see baseball champions won by baseball players.
Here's the lines according to some random book that I'm looking at. For the AL West, Astros plus 100, Rangers plus 200, Mariners plus 275. Take a guess on where the Angels and Athletics are.
They're below.
Yeah, let's hold on. Can I say can I give a guess?
Just tell me how many digits you think each of them has in their odds to win.
Okay, let me get the Athletics for plus 20,000.
I got 25, but that's pretty much right in there.
Goddamn, I was so close. Angels, I'm gonna say they're plus 18,000.
4,500.
Goddamn, I was
But
way off.
never.
But the Athletics
never
one,
gonna happen.
perfect. I was,
You're pretty dang close. I mean, and this isn't any kind of official thing. This is just this one site.
The Athletics, who are in danger of not having a stadium to play in very soon.
Hey, all I'm telling you, call the gambling authorities because I got an insider trading chip. The Texas Rangers are going to win the World Series in 2024.
How many of those do you have?
Yeah, buddy.
We're on
we're popping
mini
it
champagne
early.
number
Still
2.
smoke. We're popping it early.
Champagne Bethke.
Now let's talk about American League MVP odds.
Bethke Buble, if you will.
We got a couple guys on this list, I believe. I know of at least one.
Oh, double fisting. That's right. Oh, for our audio only listeners, they have no idea what kind of visuals they're missing out on.
Okay. So there are at least 3 Rangers in these MVP odds that I'm looking at. There's more, but this list is way too long. So 4. I got 4 here that I'm gonna.
Oh, we got 4 Rangers. That's right. Let me guess.
5.
Corey Seager leads it off. 5.
And
damn.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
Can we guess who the 5 are?
26.
Corey Seager.
Okay, we're gonna go with the top 32 so that I can fit 5 Rangers in here.
All right.
Number
top
1?
32. Dylon, and Dylon, because I speak all fire.
Speaking of Diddy.
Hey.
So yeah, you guys got the top Ranger in the MVP odds. Corey Seager, he's ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now at plus
Beautiful.
900. Who would you guess was next?
Marcus Simeon, because they don't love El Bombi.
Well, right next to him at plus 3,000.
All right.
Then we get a little bit lower. The next one.
El Bombi?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to point to you.
Yeah, buddy.
El Bombi's the next Ranger on the list at plus 6,500.
Where's he ranked overall?
18, 15, somewhere in there.
I'll take those odds, baby.
I mean, yeah, in a league that's got 800 players, it's not bad.
He's gonna hit 40 piss missiles this season.
Now the next 2 are absolutely long shots, no chance, but they're still in the top 32. No, Wyatt's not quite up there on this voting yet, but Josh Young, and with equal odds, Evan Carter.
No way.
Okay. I mean, look, given his playoff stretch, he's gonna at least start the year with some people trying to throw some money on there to try to get some value. But more interesting, something we teased out a little bit earlier is the AL Rookie of the Year. We have 2 of the top 3. Number 1 right now. Who do you think is number 1?
Wyatt Langford, baby.
It is Wyatt Langford at plus 200. Now 2 and 3 are tied at plus 275. Obviously Evan Carter, and then Jackson Holliday, who's like the most baby-faced looking guy I've ever seen in my life.
We're building baseball men and baseball guys. Baltimore is building the Fourth Reich, and that's a different thing altogether. So we'll get to it.
And they also have 2 guys in I think here in the top 10 of Rookie of the Year voting, with Adley Rutschman also being in there. Right? I thought I saw his name.
Oh, man.
Wait, did he win it last year? Is that what I was thinking of? I don't even remember who won it last year.
Last year was another one of the Aryan Brotherhood.
Oh, God damn.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was because Josh would have won it otherwise, but he got hurt and they.
Yeah, Josh was the Rookie of the Year last year. He missed too many games. Did win it last year.
They took it from my son, but
Gunnar Henderson. There we go.
Again, what did I say? Chip on the shoulder. How many champions get to have chips on their shoulders? We should be appreciative of this.
I just want you guys to look at.
That's right.
Yeah, every other one tries to make their own chip.
Yeah, no, for real. I'm serious though. I am half being a jackass and half being serious. Yeah, bro. Like
that's a 12-year-old right there.
That guy right there was about to have the greatest career of all time, but he just couldn't.
He's a
oh my God.
He's a 12-year-old on steroids. Look at those forearms.
Yeah, no.
All right, that that guy.
Baltimore,
That's not a guy. That's a
similar,
kid.
Similar to us, and I think a lot of people around here who don't fully watch the league don't know that Baltimore's building very similarly to the way we are with these young powerhouses. I think nationally, everyone's looking at Baltimore as potentially the next big thing, and they're probably already overlooking us as one-offs. But
that's what I'm talking about. We are considered a Mickey Mouse title. If this was the NBA, people would be putting the fraud meter on our fucking title. We have to go out there and put their dick in the dirt.
And then let's get to the big number. MLB World Series odds to win. You can guess who number 1 is.
The Dodgers.
Number 2, you might know.
The Braves.
Yeah, Braves. Astros coming at 3. You got Yankees 4. And then there's a 3-way tie for 5th between the Rangers, Phillies, and the Baltimore Orioles.
Only one of those wins when it matters, and that's.
But honestly, those are way better odds than we had last year. Let me pull up what it was.
Yeah, nobody saw this coming last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you say nobody saw it, but
they're still denying. And I'm pretty sure I said it in the last year that we were going to win a World Series. I'm pretty sure at some point within the 3 hours that I was bullshitting about the Rangers last year, having not watched Rangers, I had to have said the World Series title.
Oh, hey, a broken clock's right twice a day.
Exactly. It had to have happened.
I might not even be able to go back far enough to find out what the odds were. Oh, last year I put points on the Rangers at plus 1,900. The day they signed DeGrom. So this year they're plus 1,200. It's an improvement.
All right.
The last thing I can see that I did was lost a parlay. Okay.
All right.
So that kind of covers most of your MLB betting stuff as far as the big stuff. We'll get into some. Let me see. What if I can do same game parlays that you were asking me about for Cubs? I don't think I can get player parlays in here though.
I'm not a player. I just cross a lot.
So yeah, this site has the over/under for Rangers Cubs 8.5. Spread still the same. Yeah, that's about it. But it'll be interesting to watch. This team should come out of the gate firing.
And they will.
Hey, doesn't matter. Miami Heat. Regular season's a joke. You just have to win 90 games. That's it.
Yeah, and like I've hinted at before, the Mariners are nothing to scoff at or push aside. They are going to be competitive, and they're going to be good. And we got to play them as many times as we play the Astros.
And honestly, the Coleman Grill sucks. I don't want home field advantage anyway. I want to grind again. Back-to-back on the road. Yes.
Road Warriors, baby.
Because baseball guys love the road. Nothing they like more than not having to listen to their kids fucking yelling and screaming. Baseball guys.
Yeah, they're the only sports out. They're the only athletes who don't want to hang out with their kids.
No, but just at that period of time. They love their kids in the off season. That's the baseball guy motto. But during the season, they can't have the kids around. It's got to be limited family time. That's a baseball guy. They're just listening. They just want to have unabrided Morgan Wallen time. You know what I mean? Like that is all a baseball.
I think
guy
our team's a little bit more creed based.
No, actually, I said all this because your cousin Travis said that he's going to use Morgan Wallen, and then I just assumed that Wyatt Langford would too, and I assumed that Josh Jung would, and I assumed that I assume most of our locker room, would
I
have
wonder if
said
they've released any of the walk-up stuff.
And I mean, this is progress, folks. We used to have some of the worst music of all time.
David Murphy had some of the worst walk-up music.
Okay, here you go.
I used to be excited to listen to Baby Shark because of how bad it was.
Let's go with which
Sinsu Chu had a great one.
This is last year's list. Which Ranger do you think used "Kickstart My Heart" by Motley Crue? Still on the team. I'll only go with guys who are still on the team.
Ooh, damn! I should have. I just put my roster away.
Kickstart my heart.
Oh man, was it somebody on the bench?
It's walk-up music, so it's not a pitcher. Never mind.
It could also be a pitcher.
It's because like walk-in music. Like
yeah. Their intro music.
Was it Leclerc?
Was it Will Smith?
Nah, Dane
wasn't
Dunning.
it this year?
Dane Dunning.
Okay, Dane, but see, that's what I told you. Number one in the blunt rotation.
Okay, who do you think used Lecrae?
Oh, I know this one. I know this. I was there.
Jonah
Oh
Heim.
shit,
Jonah Heim.
Jonah Heim, right? Yeah.
Nate
No, Jonah Heim is not cool enough for that.
No,
as a person.
there's a lot of Christian boys on this roster.
But
That
but
is-
think about Lecrae specifically. It's not going to be
Are you being
any of your white
Ezekiel
boys.
Duran?
That's closer. Adelise Garcia.
What?
Why the
Okay, the last time I saw him, when I saw him, it was some Cuban like music.
They do
Last time I
bounce.
saw
They
him.
do bounce around sometimes. Who do you think used "Can't Stop" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Oh, Josh Young.
Corey Seager?
Josh
Josh
Young.
Young?
Josh Young.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember that. I
So
remember that.
Josh Young. Okay, so maybe there's some hope. for
Number-
this country boy.
I like that you think that I would be able to pronounce or know what Jose Leclerc's music was. I'm glad you had that confidence in me. His was "Todo va estar bien" by
Todo
Barack.
está bien?
Yeah,
Todo
está bien.
va estar bien, but it's
Yeah.
"estar" has an R in it. I don't know all
Estar.
the conjugations.
Let's go.
Just put it in the private chat and I'll read it out loud.
We'll just pull up the list. Fuck it.
I don't know.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
Does anybody have Gasolina anymore?
No,
No.
that sounds like an Elvis Andrews. Actually, Elvis Andrews used to use Chacarone. I was talking about that last night.
No, he had Baby Shark at the end.
Yeah.
Todo va
Chacarone
a
is his
estar
best
bien.
one.
Everything will be all right. Okay.
By Barack. I don't know who that is.
Neither do I.
Who has 50 Cent? Did I see 50 Cent?
It's Montgomery, of course.
Stranglehold by Ted Nugent.
Stranglehold? Oh my god, that's kind of funny though.
It is funny that Will Smith's like the widest name of all time, but because of the actor, we don't necessarily think of it that way. This is a funny one. Chris Stratton using Gavin DeGraw in 2023.
That's hilarious.
And then, of
Max
course, you
Scherzer.
see the age here.
want to be anything other than what I've been.
It wasn't that song.
Okay, but Last of a Dying Breed by Ludacris and Lil Wayne from Max Scherzer. Does this bring him up the blunt rotation, or does this even put him further down to the blunt?
Yeah. Only thing you could have
Luda!
pick Eminem.
Speaking of that,
Oh, Classy 101. I love that song. Okay. Now, who had that? Go back
Square
down. Real quick.
Dancing.
That makes it harder for me to see.
Just
I
wait,
just
a little
wanted
bit
to point
further
out.
down.
I just wanted to point
Was
out the
it-
Eminem one.
What is the Eminem one?
Square
Yeah, but you
Dance.
Square Dance. What the fuck?
Square dancing. Come on now. You know,
Oh, Grant Anderson doing some Paul Wall.
Mhm.
Okay, Grant Anderson, you got bonus points.
Yeah, Paul Wall. I like that. Let's do more.
He's number. Can he be number 3 in your blunt rotation of Texas Rangers?
How about
Just based off the vibes.
how about Zeke Duran using Daddy Yankee as Snow and then 2 Chainz and Wiz Khalifa?
I love it. Ezekiel Duran, I'm for it.
Here's a good one.
Daddy
Fat
Yankee.
Pat?
Let's go.
Fat Pat.
Robbie Grossman. Hey man,
I
he
got
knows what
better
he's
2
doing.
Chainz songs for you, Duran.
How old do you
Yeah.
think Sam Huff is that he's using Travis Scott?
It's lit.
Hey, man.
Oh,
okay.
he picked Sweet Sweet. Oh, that's right. I was in the arena. He played the game I went to, and I was like, I know I don't hear Sweet Sweet by Travis Scott right now. I know I don't hear Sweet Sweet by Travis Scott. What the fuck is happening?
All right, Martin Perez. Okay, I like that song. By Classy
I don't
101.
know what this song is, Corey Seager
Oh, that's
used.
got to be Christian music. Is that Skillet?
For the Streets.
Who?
For the Streets by
Yeah,
Corey
For the
Seager
Streets.
putting a.
God, he's for the streets. You saw that old YouTube video.
I think he's
I'm
a
down
less
with Jesus Christ because Jesus Christ is my.
Highly.
Jesus Christ is my-
Okay,
I
back
think,
that Jordan
Rick-
Montgomery putting 50 Cent, but like you could have picked a better 50 song than Back Down.
It's a weird song. to
Rashad.
pick, you know.
That's pronounced Rashad.
Okay,
and it looks like he might be a Christian rapper.
Jordan Montgomery. I know you're not a Ranger anymore, but next time just switch to "Whip Your Head Boy" by 50 Cent. That'll be way harder.
Many men.
Just
That would've gone
Many
way
men.
harder.
Many
It's such a
men.
perfect hype song.
Many Men's good, but like
Many
we
men.
gotta go with
Overdone.
one of. We need to go with one of the B sides, and "I'll Whip Your Head Boy" is one of those B sides.
I do always
I'll
wonder
whip
about
your
that. Do
head,
they gotta,
boy.
like,
With the back of the stick.
do they got to
Do they
pay
have
for
to
the
pay
rights?
us?
I don't know.
You have to pay more.
I don't know. What's his
What
name?
if
Had
I'm
Fat
like-
Bottom Girls. So
What if I was like? What if I just walked in the room and I'm just like, Led Zeppelin, and then the team just looks at me and they're like, "You have to take a pay reduction." I'm like,
It's probably
I'm
not.
like-
It's probably different because it's not like broadcast. You know, it's probably a different license and usage. I think because they can play pretty much anything in the arena.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look
Here
at
you
him,
go.
like-
Evan Carter used Cashmere.
oh, okay, there you go.
Oh, he did. I do remember that.
Okay, this is a much more fun list. Although
What if
some
I
of
was
these are
like,
exactly the same.
I want them to play a track from the Wu-Tang album that's been abducted by the FBI.
Ooh, Uvalde used Gary Clark Jr.
Okay. Texas
Uh,
guy.
See,
Nate
that's,
Lowe-
why, that's why Nate Evaldi belongs down
Nate
here.
Lowe used Stairway 'cause he's the most boring man of all time.
Stairway to Heaven, or
Yeah.
wait, really? Is a walk-up song?
Yeah.
Like at the end, like when it gets to "There's a lady who's sure."
I'm not sure because I don't usually start those in the middle. I bet he uses it because of fucking Wayne's World.
Stairway to Heaven kicks ass at the end of it.
It's a fine
It takes
song,
bit
but it's
to
a
get
little
there.
overrated.
It takes a bit to get there, but it does kick ass at the end. I get why it's overhyped.
What's
at
the
end.
Drake song used to?
Oh, used to is good. Yeah, it's solid. It's just they don't like I used to. Isn't that with that's with Lil Wayne too, right?
I don't know. All the songs that had featured
Sorry,
artists on there were listed
That's
with the
killing me.
featured
My
artists.
God, I gotta mute.
Usually didn't have one on there, so maybe not.
The problem is I see used
I
to
think that
Drake and
was-
all I can think of is Hotline Bling.
See, but
You
you,
used to, you
we've had
used
this
to.
discussion. You haven't listened to actual B-side Drake. B-side Drake puts out good music. A-side
I mean, I
Drake
liked-
puts out pop music.
I liked pre 2010 Drake a lot.
Then you didn't like Drake because he didn't exist.
He did.
Did not.
The
Now,
original,
you like
the original Forever
you like
came out in
Jim-
2008.
So you're telling me the Drake you want is you better find my lovin', you better find my heart. You
That's
better
pre
find
2010
my
Drake.
No, I'm
lovin',
talking about
you
Still
better
Fly.
find
I'm
my
talking about the original
heart.
Forever with Kid.
The want this shit forever, man.
The original, yeah.
Until he let all the rappers get on it. And Kanye said,
I'm pretty
"Chill out."
Wayne. I think Wayne was on the original. I think the only difference was they swapped out Kid for Eminem or something like that.
Well, they cut Kanye at one point to release the Sprite commercial. I think Kanye, it was right after the Taylor Swift thing. I
He
think
wouldn't give his own rights.
No, I think they cut Kanye because of Taylor Swift. I think that it was a part of the wake of the Taylor Swift gate. But at this point,
Ooh.
we've gone off the rails here a little bit.
it was always going to go off the rails after a while.
Oh, and I will share with you guys now.
We got off the rails multiple times this one episode. Like I'm
Well,
surprised we're
about
keeping it together.
celebrating the Rangers title.
Look, yeah,
Infantry
we're
title.
about to start
Great
a very
dynasty.
long season. There's going to be a lot to talk about. I'm sharing in the
And the moral of the
general
story-
chat
The moral of the
the-
story is we know y'all are haters.
the Michael Gruber official Rangers walk-up Google Doc, which only obviously some of them have been updated for this year because they haven't had a whole lot of chance. Ooh, Justin Foscue used Waves. I like that.
Waves don't die.
It's the only Chris Brown song I know of that I like.
Let me crash into Bro, Run It is like one of the most important songs of a generation.
Run it.
Yeah, but like
Indeed, I do run it.
that
If your
song's
man's
history, bro.
on the floor,
See,
if you ain't,
this man
let me know.
This man poo-poos pop music when it's at its finest, but like Run It is both an annoying pop song and a masterpiece of a pop song at the same time.
Big facts.
The only reason he works on Waves is because it's a Kanye song, and Kanye wrote it, and they just use Chris Brown's voice on it.
No,
There's so many bad takes coming out of here today. I can't take this anymore.
Run It is a very important song. He does not remember when Michael Jackson.
Run it. What do you mean I can run it? See, if you do that voice, every song sounds terrible.
See, but you just had to bring it into a different level.
A
Chris Brown
different
is
level of hate.
Chris Brown is an upstanding citizen. I can't believe you would disparage a man like that.
All right, okay, now we're going off the rails.
Yeah, Caesar, whose side do you want to be on now?
All right, I'm on my own side. Fuck it. There's three screens.
Ooh,
All right.
Can you guess what Wyatt Langford's been using so far this year?
Oh, it's got to be Morgan Wallen.
Is it Morgan Wallen?
Mm-mm.
Is it a country guy?
Is
it Toby Keith?
You could loosely categorize it as country. I would say Southern rock is probably what they go by. It's a
Where
song
was
that
that?
came out
Kings of Leon.
probably before his dad was born. Flirting with
Oh.
Disaster, Molly Hatchet.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. Flirting with Disaster is pretty good. That's a good one. Yeah.
Disaster.
Sorry.
It's white
Sorry,
people
that-
music for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
That's the archives of white
And
people.
guess what Evan
Okay.
Carter's been using this year?
Not Cashmere.
Yeah, he's a.
Fantastic Voyage.
Oh, nice. He's a little fun. Evan Carter might have a little
Ooh.
flavor to him.
Jared Walsh, the new guy, been using Grown Man Sport, Pete Rock.
Okay.
I mean, I like Pete Rock.
I like that it's
Pete Rock
something you
songs.
don't hear a lot at the ballpark.
Yeah, but Pete Rock has some booming songs like Davila. Like
I think
come
you
on,
also have to be
Pete
careful with him
Rock.
about what you can play in a stadium, right?
You can mute that. You can edit that. Pete Rock.
That doesn't
Pete
play
Rock is-
right though.
No, Pete Rock isn't that vulgar. If it was like, yeah, if I was from California and I had to play some G Funk, yeah, you might have to mute the lyrics a little bit.
And then Andrew Kitzner, who's kind of the new, he's replacing Mitch Garver, I guess, as backup catcher guy. He's using Jukebox Hero, which is absolutely hilarious, and every dad in the stadium will love that.
Honestly, though, I think that does deserve to have a part of like your
Jukebox, yeah.
decision-making process. Is what's going to get the drunk 40-year-old, 50-year-old guys out of their chair. And Jukebox Hero is a good call. There's
Ooh.
he's a jukebox hero with stars in his eyes.
Josh Smith this year has been using Sugar Sugar.
Hey, that one's for the
I'm
culture.
into that.
Sugar.
Yeah. Wait. Which sugar?
Corey
Whoa.
Seager's
What do you
second
say?
song is Baby Bash. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, Sugar by Baby Bash, right? Yeah, that's my guy. That's
Corey
my guy.
Seager's second song is a Morgan Wallen song.
Sugar, how you get so fly?
I knew
Sugar, how you get so
I knew I was going to get a Morgan Wallen one.
Let's see what else we missed.
Sorry.
I guess Yeri Rodriguez was using Caesar. Go ahead and beat me up if I mispronounce this. Roncan Freestyle by Bad Bunny.
Roncan. Sorry?
Roncan.
Why Caesar got to be the Bad Bunny?
Roncan?
Well, he's the only person I know that's been to a Bad Bunny show, right?
Multiple, yes, sir.
Well, he's been to multiple, so.
Let's
To be
see if there's
exact.
anything else interesting here before we completely move off.
I am a frequent listener of Bad Bunny. That is correct.
Who am I most disappointed in?
Mark Church is using Lil Baby's Some to Prove.
Come on. There's better Little Baby. What are we doing?
I
Can they
like
not
that these
get
guys
the
are
right-
just grabbing,
freestyle.
I like that most of these guys aren't just grabbing the hits.
Well, but there's not just hits. You know, there's like, some of these are questionable decisions.
Now, if we want to go back to the terrible Rangers, 'cause this list goes back to 2002, or sorry, 2022. Ooh, Matt Moore, More Than a Feeling, Boston. Couldn't have guessed that. Okay, we'll close this
More
out.
than a feeling. Hey, Boston.
I like
fuck.
Boston. I do, but
No, it's I would have gone long time. Boston long time.
or you got to try to find the third album where the guitars are still so ahead of time they can't release it to this day.
Man, I just want one Rangers player to go up there and play some Jodeci. All right. I really want somebody to like bring the
want some
wrong kind of
Juvie.
vibes to the plate. Okay.
Oh.
Like if I hear every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny. If I hear that at the ballpark, god damn it, I will pay so much money for that person's jersey.
I remember somebody using somebody like their team pranked him by using Bieber's Baby, and then all of a sudden he started doing well, so he just was like, I guess I'll stick with it.
And I was like, baby, oh, baby.
Mine would be Barbie Girl for sure.
That's not a bad one. I would probably do a troll thing like using the Psychosocial Baby mashup where it does the Baby intro, then Slipknot comes in. Fans would hate it, and I would be so happy.
I would.
And I wonder, like, 'cause
Maybe
back in the
maybe.
day, like when Juan Gonzalez would come out and they'd use like the Imperial March, and I can't imagine he was like, I really want the Darth Vader theme. Like that's just gotta be something they decided to do for him.
All right, so if I had to have walk up music to troll the crowd, right? It's a very specific portion of the
Ooh,
crowd.
maybe we should.
It's
hold.
Jermaine Stewart.
I was gonna say maybe we should hold these, and next week we can introduce everybody with their walk-up music.
Well, listen. I'm already mid sentence, so I'll change my song. But for right now, in this moment, we don't have to take our clothes off by Jermaine Stewart.
That's a good one. We don't have to take our
Clothes off.
What if I suggest an R. Kelly song?
My favorite R. Kelly song is when he was in Ethiopia trying to recruit girls to come back to the U.S.
All right, let's go ahead and edit that one out the episode.
What about Diddy Dirty Money? I know this one called Workin'. I'm gonna use that. Diddy Dirty Money Workin'. It's one of the funniest songs I've ever heard in my life. And it's just like the song goes, put that bitch working. It's like it's just so creepy. And
is that the one with Travis Scott?
Yeah.
Did you get your shots?
So now that we know Diddy's a creepy motherfucker.
With drop to America.
I wanna piss on you. I wanna piss on you.
Do you have
your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America?
Don't do it.
Do you have your passport?
This is some nasty work. God damn.
All right, so what's a bigger atrocity?
I'm sorry, what?
R.
That was
Kelly
terrible.
doing this or DMZ or DMZ?
TMZ?
DMZ. No, DMX having 40,000 white people chanting bar for bar Rough Rider anthem.
That would be a great walk-up song.
Okay.
I'm just
That
saying, what was
I
the more regressive moment in American history.
Well,
that R. Kelly song.
There's
R.
always-
Kelly song.
yeah.
No context.
There's always that
Love
joke of Donald Glover's where he talks about seeing Kanye at
I
ACL.
don't-
And he just says every white guy is using the N-word, and they're all just like, what are you going to do?
That was basically DMX's fault. It's not a DMX's fault, but it's the biggest, like the first known video of that many white people using the word in a modern context.
Yeah, I was going to say not in a way where they're aggressively trying to kill somebody.
Right.
Again,
Yeah.
I've seen Blazing
context.
Saddles. And I've seen the Morgan Wallen video. Was that him?
Yeah, I was about to say, the only thing I'm worried about with the Rangers is one of these guys getting on a video game and throwing out a word that Morgan Wallen taught him.
I think they're more likely to think it's clever to do the whole "Let's Go Brandon" line of jokes. So we'll probably be okay.
God, I hope so. I hope they're just simple MAGA men.
All right, we might be.
All right, I think that this episode has reached its natural conclusion.
I'm not sure if me and Jacob are allowed to sit here and talk about these kind of things. So.
I don't know where else we're to go from here. All right, there is no way. Let's pivot.
America's a free country, and Texas Rangers are America's baseball team.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode.
And you know who would agree with that? Happy Bullwinkle.
All right, listen, I've been sat here for a little bit. I'm gonna avoid the authorities now, so y'all take care.
All right, I predict the Rangers are going to win 92 games, win the division, and run it back.
We win 95 games, baby. 95 games.
Yeah, we went and retook it.
Perfect.
Back to back.
This should drop in the morning, boys, and I'll send y'all some pictures and videos from opening day.
If you ain't a champion, then you ain't the Rangers. Holla at you, boys. Deuces.
All right, later.
Texas Rangers baseball.
So, I mean, for us to be able to come back in here and do that, there's a lot. Go sing with your team. Thank you.
Hey, get my for you?
This is Past the Rock.
Good, good. I gotta tell you, one of the coolest moments, for a manager is a moment like now. And that's being able to tell you you're with the major league team here, and I could be happier, I could be prouder for you. I mean, how fast this is all happening for you. And I gotta tell you, there's never any doubt in our mind. I don't know if you ever had any doubt, but I just want you to know this is a really, really cool moment. You're going to help us win. You're going to help us win a championship here. And so congratulations on everything that's happened to you. I know, just a year ago, you're playing for the Gators. Now here you are. So it's pretty cool. Nice work coming in.
Thank you. And I'm excited. We'll win some games.
Awesome, White. Congratulations. You heard it, man, and this is just the beginning. You got the best yet to come, so proud of you. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guess what?
All right. Nice work.
Thank you. He's awesome. What a stud.